even if they're not that proud of us.
Now back to the sports animal. Your afternoon drive. Number 2, men on. Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Marie Castillo. This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Mike's hot.
It's Thursday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? I'm
not saying a thing.
Means it's the 80th anniversary of the landing at D-Day, Van. There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, ain't that some
big day?
The Normandy landings.
Man. I think I'll watch the opening scenes of Saving Private Ryan tonight to celebrate.
When I was a kid, that was a pretty brutal thing.
I remember watching it. The first time I watched it was in a theater at a baseball tournament with my family.
Yeah.
And it was sold out, not a seat open, and multiple people left the theater. They couldn't handle it. The PTSD was way too thick.
This was in 96?
Yeah.
Because it was in theaters. So is that when that came out in 96? That sounds right. That would be like, I don't know, fitting or whatever. So Saving Private Ryan's the one, 98. It was 98, man. So 7,000 ships or something, 130,000 troops from America. You know, I mean, the other troops from elsewhere as well. And it certainly has changed over the history of at least my last 40 years being alive. Because when I was born, it was only 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, and now, you know, here we are at 80 years. And, you know, the individuals that were there, they're not with us anymore. And, you know, the stories associated with it. And socially, pop culturally, entertainment-wise, historically, maybe one of the most top 5, top 10 significant days in the history of this planet.
I would agree.
And there's like a weird, I don't know if it's true for ladies, but there is, Bob, you can speak to this too as you like. There's like a period when every young dude goes through like a World War II like obsession.
Absolutely.
Like there's like you learn it all. And I don't know why I did that.
Shout out Ken Burns.
Ken Burns had to be a big part of it, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
And, you know, and if I say Saving Private Ryan, we all talk about it. You know, if I say Band of Brothers, we all talk about it. If I say, and we can, you know, we can run the list. For me, what got me started 8 years ago was Maus. You remember Maus, the graphic novel talking about concentration camps?
I do not.
Oh, my gosh. You should look it up. Maus. It's the greatest telling of it ever. Boy in the striped pajamas. You know, we can kind of run the list of, you know, all the culturally significant things, you know, from the history of World War II. But just a wild. And, you know, just 6 months prior to D-Day is the bombing of Pearl Harbor, right? So, like, going through what America went through at that time, and now, you know, we're no longer hearing those accounts firsthand. We're hearing them secondhand at best. And they've almost, like, disappeared to lore, which is, I mean, historically, they're all recorded. They're there. They exist. But you get the point I'm saying. It's no longer a individual removed from the experience. It's an experience that's gone from survival today, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's history now.
Yeah.
It's not part. You can't just go ask Grandpa about it anymore. Grandpa has passed.
Yes.
And now it's up to, you know, the memory of historians and, like, accurate retellings of the account to give it the justification that it needs. And like you said, it's one of the top 5 events in the history of the world. If, you know, I would like to think, you know, as proud as I am to be an American, if we didn't intervene, the world would be in a very different place right now.
It looks here as if over 850,000 men, 148,000 vehicles, 570,000 tons of supplies landed on the Normandy shores throughout the course of America's interaction in World War II. Just absolutely crazy. Just a sombering day that I have, in my many years in talk radio, I've always taken a moment at the very beginning to talk about. Today, the anniversary of the invasion of Normandy, World War II's D-Day.
Sure.
And a side note.
Yep.
I saw a headline yesterday, I think, that there are still survivors from that time,
There we go.
and they were going over to Normandy. I don't remember if they were sailing or if they were on a flight, but 102-year-old veteran died on the way going over there.
On the flight.
My goodness.
Yeah, wild.
So, like you said, we don't have too many left.
No,
Glad he made it through the first trip.
Yeah.
Ooh. That was a different, they say greatest generation. That's how that's described. And
Yeah.
I mean, hard to argue, right?
Right.
Like made the world right again, and then came home and, the World War II, the American involvement was such a short run of time, significant, but short. Don't be confused.
Oh my God. Play Inner Sandman, because we're the closers.
Yeah.
We finished that thing off.
43 to 45.
Yep.
And, and really the very end of 43. That's when Pearl Harbor occurred in December. And then, to go in and be a part of that. And then for all those individuals that went over there, contributed and, were part of war and survived war at whatever level they were over there, to come back and then just reacclimate to life, just get back to the American normal, just intense, just the most intense thing ever. And the amount of individuals that came from that, thank you today for all of their efforts. So wild, just absolute wild. June 6th. The headline today should be the NBA Finals. That's what we should be talking about extensively. But that classic LeBron James mess around, man.
Sure.
Classic LeBron James.
Hey, he's got his podcast partner back.
I was saying this from the beginning. The fit is not JJ Redick. I was saying this from moment out the gate. I said he's never coached. He cannot coach. Not the coach. And it's not Bobby Hurley. It's Dan Hurley. And Dan Hurley, who's been at UConn for the longest now, and as I'm taking a second, UConn has kind of been the college basketball team in my college basketball aware years. It's not Kentucky. It's not Duke. It's not North Carolina.
Right.
I think it is UConn.
I mean, you've had a lot of blue bloods jump in and grab a championship here and there, but UConn has had sustained success our whole adult lives.
And I'm a little weirded out that Silver in the NBA didn't make the Lakers be shut up for the next 7 days. Like, I'm a little surprised by that. Like, there's a steal of the shine of the finals right here and there won't be an official announcement from the Lakers until after the finals. I promise you that. This leak of Dan Hurley, by the way, what is the number? Like, give me the number has to be so incredibly high. But LeBron James found a way to make the finals about he again. And I'm sitting here with a not surprised look on my face.
Yeah, LeBron James, can you just take a week off and let Luka and your old dude Kyrie?
Yeah.
He even had to steal the shine from Kyrie himself. LeBron had to make Kyrie being in the final about him. He's like, oh, I miss Kyrie. I wish I had Kyrie back. I wonder what Kyrie thinks about not playing with me right now. Like, come on, dude. Give the National Basketball Association a week to soak up all the shine. Let Luka be the star for a week. Let the Celtics big 3.5 players be the star.
Big 6 now. Porzingis is back.
Let them have a little rub for a while, and then make it about you after the finals.
Yeah, we're on the same page here because what you just mentioned multiple storylines, and I think in this finals you can let those storylines cook, right? So if you want to, hey, and if the Mavericks win, it's the crowning of Luka, and it's Jason Kidd as a coach, and it's he won it with that team, and we can kind of run through the list. And then if it's the Celtics win, it's I can't believe they put 5, 6 different, 7 different guys out there that can all shoot threes the entire time and run the court, and it's the most balanced team in all of history. And by the way, the Celtics now stand alone at the top once again as the all-time winningest NBA franchise. Blah 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 blah. LeBron said no.
Sure.
Fred, it's not LeBron, it's the Lakers. That's because Dan Hurley he told his team because he didn't want him to hear it from someone. No, it's not. It's because of LeBron. Do not be confused that it's always because of LeBron. Every time, LeBron.
I mean, Kyrie should be a talking point of this NBA Finals for good and bad reasons. The good, he can ball out of control.
Sure.
He's one of the best ball handlers. He's one of the best rim attackers.
Yep.
And this year, he looks like one of the best teammates in the NBA. But historically, we know how big of a mess Kyrie Irving is. We talk about him way too much on this very program because of all of his antics and all the stupid foot and mouth stuff that he says over and over and over again. But it looks like this year he's righted the ship. Him and Luka are like a dominant 1-2 punch. That's a great storyline. The only person to keep Kyrie calm and collected and focus on basketball was LeBron James. Now there's two. You can add Luka.
And Jason Kidd.
And Jason Kidd.
I think he has something to do with it. The idea that LeBron is so much bigger than the internet, that he's so much bigger than the NBA,
sure,
that he's so much bigger than all of it, to where he can on the day of. And also the last week was conversations around who? His boy, J.J. Redick, who now, would I be surprised if J.J. Redick goes and coaches UConn? No, I will not. Like, this one is the one.
The second place finish, you get the old guy's job.
Which is the best job in college basketball, which is 25 free wins a season. With the way that school puts money into their men's program, you put a big name at the top, and they only play 30 games. That's 25 wins, and they only play 30 games.
Right.
Like, that is a team that collegially is going to be one of the best ones for the foreseeable future with the right head coach. Give it to J.J. Redick. Speaking of blue bloods, like, that dude would do fine. Speaking of red, Van, you can get red or green chili right here at Sadie's on 4th, where we are broadcasting from today. Come hang with the boys up until 7 o'clock. The NBA Finals will be on. They start at, so it's Eastern, 6:30, so 5, so there's like a 4:30 there. So and then
tonight.
So
they start tonight.
During the show.
It depends on how long the pregame program is. Depends on how long does the anthem go over, under? Do they have to add another commercial break because the anthem was so short?
Tip-off.
It will be on tonight, I promise.
Tip-off is 6:30 Mountain. So there you go, 6:30 Mountain.
Okay, I'm taking the over. It's going to run over. They're going to squeeze in another commercial. Congratulations, it starts at 6:47. Look, LeBron James is just Aaron Rodgers, but he uses his powers for good. He has to be in the media. He has to have a camera in his face. He has to be the center of attention. But instead of like convincing obese people in Wisconsin not to get the vaccine and killing them, and all the other conspiracy theories that Aaron Rodgers has spit out, LeBron James builds schools and hospitals. Yeah. But he's still the same addict for attention. He's got to have it. He can't handle it. He can't live without it.
He's awesome. It's awesome he's got it like that. It's awesome he's the oldest player in the NBA. It's awesome he's played the most in the NBA. It's awesome he's the best that he's ever been at the NBA. And it's awesome that the Lakers aren't allowing him to coach in his final year the way that Bill Russell did, because that's what it has to be. Because there's not a coach coming into the Lakers that can take over and coach LeBron James. There's not a coach coming into the Lakers that can take over and coach LeBron James and Anthony Davis. There's not a coach coming into the Lakers that can take over and coach players today that have been in the league for over 20 years, because it's not the way it was when players were in the league for 20 years. The last dude that was Udonis Haslem, and he was booty. There are no more dudes that play this long that can be coached. LeBron James has to be the coach. He has to be the coach and the player, and he has to draft his kid, and that's the only way it works. And not even, don't call me Bobby Hurley, Dan Hurley is going to be able to come in and do anything in a leadership position.
You had in every single interview, and I'm sure they were aplenty, you sit down Dan Hurley and ask him multiple questions. Can you win with LeBron James' kid? Can you win basketball games with the distraction of LeBron James playing 100%. With his kid? Not only can you win with that distraction, can you win with a kid who scored 4.5 points per game in college, who probably wouldn't be drafted if he wasn't LeBron James' kid?
I'd draft him first overall to get LeBron.
Or to keep LeBron.
So here, LeBron's smarter than the game. That's what I'm saying. LeBron greased us for a week, 10 days on J.J. Redick.
Yeah.
The last 3 weeks or 3 months, how long have they been doing this podcast? 90 days?
Yeah, sure.
They've been doing this podcast. He was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it look like this idiot, blue blood, good looking, everyone hates, regardless of religion, political belief, racial level of acceptance. Everyone hates J.J. Redick. He's like Christian Laettner. Everyone hates that dude. And he said for the last 10 days that he's going to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And no matter who you put up against him, they're going to look good. Dan Hurley looks like a good pick, because before this, It was a dude who has never coached at any level and everyone already hated. It was like when Luke Walton was the coach for some reason. Like, what is the deal?
I mean, he's Bill Walton's kid. He's a basketball genius. It didn't work out. They had him at the wrong time. But anyways, I don't think either of these coaches are going to work out.
Yeah, but one looks better.
No coach is going to work out.
No, you can't have a coach.
I mean, usually I'm impervious to this media swerve.
Yeah.
A little bait and switch like this.
You got fish hooked, man.
Yeah, we're doing more Daniel Day-Lewis today, are we? Yeah, I'm usually impervious to this stuff, but they straight up got me this time with the JJ Redick. I was like, okay, he's friends with LeBron. He'll know how to appease him. He knows he's got a great basketball mind. It's a good fit. He just needs a veteran assistant coach to teach him the ways of the road, blah, blah, blah. I don't think either of these guys are a good fit in LA. Connecticut to Los Angeles.
It ain't what it used to be. That's what I'm saying.
Look, Dan Hurley and maybe X's at 505-246-0610.
That's us.
Some X's and O's guys you want to call in and tell me Dan Hurley's chops. But I'll tell you what, one of the most important part of having a sustained, successful basketball team, the NCAA level, D1 NCAA level, is money and recruiting. And UConn is fantastic at that. It's not difficult to win every year when you're pulling in all the best players. You can't do that in the NBA.
There is no better pick. The only thing we're wrong about, number one, we're incredibly right about, it has to be LeBron James who's the coach. Number two, any other timeline, any other time in the history of NBA basketball, any other time where, and there's only like 3 teams, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Bulls. The only other time where you could be like, hey, you need a new coach. And sitting right there is 2-time back-to-back NCAA champion head coach, whoever.
Yeah.
And he's available. Go get him. You would be raving about this. You would say this is the absolute best individual that could ever end up in this position. And the game today is not the game it was when we would have been talking about this 10 years, 15, 20 years ago. The game today is players who make more money than head coaches. You know what Dan Hurley looks like? JJ Redick. You know what Dan Hurley looks like? You don't look like a coach. He's not going to inspire young men to be the best they could be for whatever. This is about millionaires and millionaires, and no one is in a leadership position now. They all just work there. Bill Russell had an assistant that scheduled flights. Do the same thing with LeBron.
Sure. I mean, you do need a guy like that. I'll agree with you partly there. But the NBA game and the NCAA game is just so wildly different that it's going to be a hard transition, especially with you got LeBron James, who I consider is the GOAT talk I'm not even going to have. He's the best basketball player in the history of the world. No one is better at that game than LeBron James. Make the Jordan argument all you want. He's the GOAT. I get it. The boat is LeBron James. No one's ever done it better than him. And you got like a 2-year window, 3 if he goes from $1 million a year taking care of his body to like 3. Who knows? His window is closing so fast, and you're going to fill that void of head coach with a guy who's never done it before. I don't think it's the best move.
LeBron James is the best basketball player on the planet because he wants to be the best basketball player on the planet. If he wants to be the best head coach, he will also be that. If he wants to be the best owner, just like Alex Rodriguez is about to own the Timberwolves, he will be that. If the thing that LeBron James wants to be best at, he will be best at no matter what that thing is.
Did you say Timberwolves?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's not what you would change it to?
Yeah. Immediately change it to the Timberwolves.
Yeah. Precious little Timberwolves.
I'm a Tinder wolf looking for some Tinder cougars.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
We're live from Sadie's on 4th. Come hang out with your boys. We're going to watch basketball tonight, too, so that's going to be a lot of fun. In the 5 o'clock hour, friend of the show and host of the morning show here. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Jeff Symbieta, who's joining us in the 5 o'clock hour here at Sadie's. Jeff Symbieta.
Bring your 8x10s.
100%.
He will be available for autographs.
The ones that you already have printed of him.
Correct. You're ready. You're ready.
Now, and put a lot of space at the bottom because he has to put multiple X's for every time he's been New Mexico Sports Broadcaster of the Year.
It's going to take a minute.
He's going to be there a while, is what it is, because he's New Mexico Sports Broadcaster of the Year every single year of the history they've ever given him the award. I say we create a movement right now. We rebrand it. We call it the Jeff Symbieta Award.
Fair.
Yeah, that's what we do. But today, the New Mexico Bowl announced its play date van. It's got a play date.
Oh, when is it?
Nope, not telling you. I'm
We're gonna wait for Jeff.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Jeff tell
smart, very smart.
But I'm gonna tell you, from my opinion, I'm gonna give you one word to describe it. Are you ready?
Okay.
Upgrade.
Ooh,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So Jeff Symbieta will join us in the 5 o'clock hour live from Sadie's. We're going to talk about the New Mexico Bowl because he is the director of that, and he hosts the morning show here, and he's very good at that. And we're going to create a campaign to simultaneously put him in the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame and change the New Mexico Broadcaster of the Year award to the Jeff Symbieta Award of Excellence, Prestige, and Sweetness.
I second that motion.
Did you put up 3 fingers like the Girl Scouts?
I
right
did
there?
not. It was just a full hand. I
Oh.
raised my hand and seconded the motion.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's like whenever they're storming Normandy Beach on D-Day and Saving Private Ryan, and they're like, hold, bandoliers.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
At the end of Saving Private Ryan, whenever it's old Matt Damon, spoiler alert for 1998 Saving Private Ryan, and it's old.
I think we're safe on spoilers.
And it's old
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Walter White dies at the end. Get over it.
He's not in that movie.
Oh.
Although everyone is in Saving Private Ryan.
Everyone.
Everyone.
If you're in that movie, you're just catapulted to fame.
Yeah. So he leans over to his wife Martha, and he's like, "Tell me I lived a good life. Tell me I'm a good man." I get goosebumps every time. I can't handle it. Cannot. Back live from Sadie's after this, where we are going to be talking NBA Finals, actual NBA Finals, not just LeBron James and Lakers talk. Every Celtics fan, you can pull your fingers out of your ears now. 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report, Brian.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On, where during the break, Bob, you want to repeat that to me?
Sure. We had a caller who likes to correct you when you are wrong.
Yep. So they never call, basically. So, yeah.
He said this was only the second time in 2 years, I think.
All right, they need to listen more often.
That Cranston was in Saving Private Ryan. He was in the Department of Defense.
There you go.
Which I think
I do recall this.
I think at that time it was the War Department, not Department of Defense.
I mean,
but it was in one of those things.
That's an interesting. So the Office of Civil Defense turned into FEMA. I don't know if everyone knows like the history of this. So there used to be an Office of Civil Defense, and it was almost disbanded immediately after World War II, or turned into FEMA because of its embarrassing failures at Pearl Harbor.
Sure.
So it's supposed to be like a watch the skies kind of thing, and they had a similar thing in England. That was keep calm and keep your head down or whatever. Or stay calm and keep your head down, or
keep calm and carry on.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. And same kind of propaganda stuff, same kind of they had air raid sirens, all that kind of thing. But yeah, it really fell apart. If you look at the list, I pulled up the list.
Today's not the day to talk about my Pearl Harbor conspiracy theories.
No, today is not the day.
No, tomorrow. Mark this down.
I will say this to you: Barry Pepper in Saving Private Ryan is arguably the best role I've ever seen.
Kind of crushed.
I can't give you another example of where Barry Pepper was that dude. In Saving Private Ryan, was he in the Green Mile? He was in the Green Mile. He had back-to-back bangers. Knock Around Guys was good. I mean, if you're into that type of movie. But Barry Pepper, who was the sniper, he was also in True Grit, the remake. He was also in We Were Soldiers. I mean, he's got a type.
He did well in True Grit. He's like one of those guys where you're having a movie conversation with your friend, and you're like, that guy. He did so good in that movie. He was only in it for like 7 minutes, but he did so good.
You know what he was super good in?
Barry Pepper. It's always Barry Pepper.
Yeah. He was super good as Roger Maris in 61.
61. Forgot about that.
61 is good. He was in Flags of Our Fathers. He did all these. So there you go. Now watch Barry Pepper and Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks, obviously. Tom Sizemore was tremendous. Ed Burns, Adam Goldberg, Vin Diesel. I mean, the list is Giovanni Ribisi. Giovanni Ribisi, who I think had only done like 5 episodes of Friends before this.
Oh, you talking about the Italian Barry Pepper?
I am doing that.
Who crushes it in everything he's ever been in.
Jeremy Davies as Corporal Upham.
Mm-hmm.
Wild good.
By the way, we weren't saying that Bryan Cranston wasn't in Saving Private Ryan.
I was
making a spoiler joke about Walter White dying at the end of Breaking Bad. You should have seen it already.
Well, I did, but then I think I went on to say I don't know if he was in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I do remember because he folds a piece of paper, and they're like, "We have to say Private Ryan," or you know, whenever movies say the name of the movie. That's what I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Danson, Paul Giamatti. I mean, the list is like
this mission just got impossible. Blur.
Dennis Farina, impossible blur. I mean, there's just
Nathan Fillion,
very good.
Yeah,
this whole movie. And at the time, like Private Ryan played by Matt Damon. That wasn't Matt Damon's bag at the time.
He wasn't quite yet Matt Damon.
No.
Then again, he didn't have a lot of screen time either. They were saving him. Most of the movie was trying to find this guy.
Yeah, keep your head down. Like the guy who was in, because they thought it was him. They set him down. He's the deaf dude in the movie who was in. Remember the Titans? Played the white linebacker who gets in the car accident or whatever.
I don't remember.
You know what I'm talking about. No. Yeah. I don't know, good little film. I'm going to say it's better than good. Pivotal. It's a pivotal film celebrating the heroes.
The atrocities of war wasn't the main character, but boy, did they do it right.
Yeah. There's a bunch of war films at that time because it was that amount of time removed from war to where you could tell the stories of war as like I don't want to use the word celebration of it.
Sure.
But like understanding the notoriety. The one I always point out is Starship Troopers. Have you seen Starship Troopers with Vin Diesel?
Very familiar.
Okay.
Great film.
100%. Yes.
I thought it was awful when it came out when I was a kid. Watching it as an adult, I was like,
Yeah, there's some brilliance here.
I see now.
And it's an interpretation of All Quiet on the Western Front.
Right.
And there's no good guys
Sure.
at all. And similar to the way All Quiet on the Western Front represented, the German army as monsters.
Yeah.
That's what Starship Trooper does with literal
monsters.
Literal monsters.
Sure.
There's just a cleverness to it that Saving Private Ryan carried into, so many of those other ones. And also watch Band of Brothers if you have 12 extra hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. So insanely well done. And what I like about Saving Private Ryan, it was a story within a story that was telling a bigger narrative while it was telling you a very compelling story. All the great things about people coming together to try to help this one person. So, this family doesn't have to grieve losing every single one of their sons, blah, blah, blah. If you haven't seen it, you're too late. Tons of spoilers coming your way. But like I said, the atrocity of war isn't the main character. And usually when you're watching a war movie, it's either propaganda about how awful war is, which I agree, your boy isn't pro-war, or how awful the other guys are, how awful the bad guys are. And in our case in America, hot take here, we haven't been the good guys every war.
No.
But we were undisputably, historically, the good guys in World War II.
Yeah.
And when you can tell a compelling story without just being propaganda, mwah, chef's kiss. Thank you very much.
A very important day, D-Day today. And you're right, man, because there have been narratives told since. The one that I'm super oppo is American Sniper with Bradley Cooper. You haven't seen this one?
I knew the story and I skipped out on it.
Okay. So as good as Hurt Locker was, that's how bad American Sniper is, right?
Sure.
So anyway, so the idea of just sensationalizing, it's like Top Gun. You know what I mean? We're trying to put out a propaganda piece.
Yeah.
And a lot of those films from that time, including the Desert Storm conflict and all those atrocities of the world at that time.
Yeah.
We went to your country and then we killed a bunch of you, but some of us died talking about America. So we got sad and we made a movie about it.
Correct.
And you go, oh man, like I'm not, you're not going to trick even little kid Fred into thinking that this is Black Hawk Down is not for me.
Yeah. I was smart enough to see through it. And again, by the way, people who have served, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So GD much.
Love Warriors.
We cannot stress this enough. Thank you for your service.
Hate war.
I hope you made it out okay. And if you didn't, I hope you're getting the services that you do need. We're against the people who put you in that position, who made awful decisions, usually for corporate interest to put you in that decision. But the warrior themselves, it's deeper and braver and beyond anything that I know I could do as a human being.
There is, just real quick to wrap up our D-Day conversation, which I'm sure we'll hit on multiple times throughout today. Are you familiar with the Sullivan Brothers, the reason that Saving Private Ryan exists?
Right.
Okay. So the Sullivan Brothers, they were all from Waterloo, Iowa, and it was 5 or 6 of them, I couldn't tell you. And they were all in the same boat, and that boat was sunk. And their mother, whose name was Angie or Alette, or it was an A name, so she loses all of her sons. And it is the saddest thing. It is just the saddest thing possible. And that's whenever the United States military changed its military service rules to now. So, for instance, if you register for selective service and you're drafted, they can't draft every dude in your family.
Sure.
So they can take 4 or 5. And then once war does occur, no longer will you be put together. And historically, that was done for morale and stuff. But dating all the way back to like the Revolutionary War and the Civil War,
right?
There would be, I don't know what phrasing to use here, troops of individuals that were from the same town.
Yeah.
They're all buddies. They all joined together to do this thing. And entire towns, populations of individuals would never return.
Wipe out families from the history of planet Earth.
Oh, just crazy. Yeah. Super crazy. So, today we celebrate D-Day because today's the anniversary, 80 of them. So just absolutely wild. Celtics and Mavericks talk whenever we get back from the break. I only see 2 possible outcomes here. And I'm going to tell you why. If you subscribe to any that involve Dallas being a victor, it's not because you think Dallas is a winner. It's because you are a Celtic hater. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. Live from Sadie's on 4th, the sports animal.
Is hot.
Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Our friend Gil is here. Gilbert, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey guys,
Hey, buddy.
how are you? It's not 5 yet, so I feel like I might be in trouble for. Is this considered work?
Oh, because you're on the. Well, you should
Like
get
at
paid
this
double
working-
for the
Yeah,
next
you're
12
doing
minutes.
Doing 2 works.
You're right. This is overtime.
During
Yeah.
the commercial break, Gil said he hates the hit movie Apocalypse Now because it was based on Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness
Ah,
short story.
yeah,
It's a
interesting.
great story.
Yeah.
I don't remember saying that, but
Did you have an individual in your life that you learned World War II from? Was there a family member, educator, or someone like? When did you
Everybody
fall in
says
love with World War II?
That's
fall
a
in
weird
love
way to
with
say
it.
it.
You know, I fell in love with the war. I don't know if I ever fell in love with the war when I became knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say I am knowledgeable about it. So I'm not the biggest history guy.
Remember when Russia was the good guy?
Diary of Anne
That's
Frank,
wild.
like 3rd grade. Is that when you read that?
Oh yeah, that's a really good
Okay.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say then.
that's brutal.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
No, it wasn't fun. I don't like
No.
that one.
No. Yeah, so I would say that. 3rd
I
grade,
like
Anne Frank.
her later work when she made the cool folders and stickers and pencils and stuff like that.
That's Lisa.
Lisa Frank.
Oh man, I feel awful right
Do
Yeah.
you remember Lisa, the hot air balloon? Lisa Frank even had a hot air balloon here for the balloon fiesta.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't live here.
Bring
that's
it-
right.
Bring it back.
St. Louis,
Wish I lived
Home
here at
of-
that time.
Jackie Joyner Kersey.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd argue the most famous St. Louis and outside of Nelly.
It's
Yes.
Lewis.
Wait, why does Nelly sing about North?
The
You sing North Carolina? Is
boys,
song?
they fainted him.
that somebody else?
You're talking about Sean Paul.
No. Sean Paul's in jail. No, is he in jail? No, Sean Kingston's in jail.
Nelly was recently referenced on Vince Staples' new album, Black and Blue. It's very good.
There you go.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad we got that settled.
EI.
Oh.
Thank you. What's up with Sadie's right now? People trying to come and watch the finals, or is it just
Yeah,
us?
we get the finals. It might be just you guys. I don't know how many. There's some Celtics fan. Our GM is a Celtics fan. So I'm going to have to listen to him just bask in the glory of the series. Although I don't think it's going to be as easy as people are thinking.
I'm on Team
This-
Gilbert.
I recently
6-game series at least.
I recently learned that people don't root for the Celtics; they only root against the Celtics. Everyone said Oklahoma City was going to beat Dallas. They all said that. Everyone said Minnesota was going to beat Dallas. They all said that. And all of a sudden, Dallas is going to beat the Celtics? No.
Mm-hmm.
No. Everyone just hates the Celtics.
Which
Mate,
is true.
yeah.
It's very true.
That city is. I mean, it's a city of champions,
Says who?
right?
They
They
the
were. at
city of
once.
Boston has won more championships than any other city in our generation. Mostly held up by the Patriots, but
The Celtics have 18 ships or something. And also, if you count John Cena, who's from Newbury, Massachusetts, then
That 13,
I mean,
14.
that's
How many does he have?
That's the 16-time world heavyweight champion.
even when you don't count the Celtics championships when they only had the one good basketball player in the NBA, if you don't count those, they've still won a bunch.
You're not going to lean
Still
into
a
my
really good
my
franchise.
John Cena thing.
I'm sorry, I missed it. What happened?
If you count John Cena's world championships,
Oh, is he from Boston?
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, not Boston. Where is
no,
he from?
Newbury.
Newberry. Build.
Connect to it.
Build what?
Build from Newberry. Massachusetts.
Oh, it's in Massachusetts. Sounds like a Connecticut
I
town.
think it's west.
New England.
Yeah. Well, New England, I think, counts. That's all the same.
Sure. But Boston proper, there's a city limit.
City of champions, though. That's why people are against them.
Because historically they've been successful.
Yeah, I mean, what have the Celtics done to, I mean, other than their former coach cheating on his wife?
Yeah. I mean,
Other than that, it's pretty.
the city of Boston, historically, not great for racial relations,
No.
if you will. Yeah.
And they're really only known for one good
Historically,
tea party.
Their fans, not the best either.
Not good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's your reason.
Their police department,
Hey,
cost of living.
Boston fans are so happy Eagles fans threw batteries at Santa, so they could be the worst.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
LeBron James said it's the only team he never play for. Allegedly, I said that just now.
Until they build a super team.
Until they draft his son.
Yeah.
Then he's going over there. That would be good. They should draft Bronny.
I like teams that are so established that you can't do things that aren't necessarily trademarked by them. Like, you could not put in a parquet floor anywhere. Like, if you're a basketball court and you're like, you know what I think I'm going to put in? No.
Yeah.
Well, that's our thing. We're Boston.
Can't do that.
That's a legitimate level of product. It's like if a restaurant opened up here in Albuquerque and they were like, hey, we're going to do chips and salsa. That's a
Yeah, like,
that's
you
a
can't do
Sadie's
that.
thing.
And there's so many people that try to do chips and salt. I mean,
They fail.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
I'm sure McDonald's is going to try and do chips and salsa next.
There's no way. There's no way.
I mean,
I can eat better food for less money at Sadie's than I can eat at McDonald's right now.
The amount of trans fat they would have to pump in the Sadie salsa to make it McDonald's levels would render it inedible.
they have the connection to trans fat, so they figure it out.
At or without Sadie's help. If McDonald's called and was like, hey, we want to create a Sadie's dipping sauce. Take the call.
You take the call.
Take the call.
You take the call. You listen to it. And
Politely decline.
if Sadie's doesn't want to do it,
Yeah, talk numbers though, baby.
yeah, then
Everyone has a number, even Sadie.
Yep.
Even smoking hot cartoon Sadie has
Oh,
a number.
animated Sadie.
that's right.
Is she on a
I
shirt
just
anywhere?
said that out loud and my heart rate went up. Goodness.
I think we need to retire that Sadie and
What are you
make sure
talking
you guys
about?
don't.
What?
I mean, for your health.
Oh, I mean, now that it's plastered all over the walls of my home, do whatever you want with it.
She's
I
kind
got
of
enough copies.
she's kind of the female version of the Boston Celtics logo.
Oh yeah, she kind of has that.
I don't.
She kind of has that vibe, I guess. Should we put parquet
I'll
floors
say-
in the lounge here?
I'll say-
Parquet carpet.
Yeah, that's
Well-
not a bad idea.
you want to do that? But porqué.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
Thanks so much. Come and get a margarita.
I'm about to go in.
Ooh, I want one. 5 o'clock.
No, remember I'm
14 minutes.
technically should not be here, but I am.
Will you bring us 2 margaritas and then our friend Jeff is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour?
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
So that's 3 margaritas total
Jeff's gonna be. Oh, Jeff's not. He's gonna physically be here
to
Yeah.
drink. Yeah, but it'll be it'll be better if there's a marg waiting.
Yeah.
for him. Do you think he's a no salt guy? Is he a salt guy, a sugar rim guy?
I think it's safe just you do
Frozen.
half salt on everyone.
Yeah, do
Just
half on
salt.
everyone.
Yeah, half salt's the way to go.
Yeah, because
Yeah, like when you find a slug in the wild.
no, half salt's not good if you like salt. If you want salt, you want salt.
Well, here's the problem. I can't speak for all the ladies out there, but the mustachioed men, if you have a full salt rim, it always gets stuck to the edge of your mustache,
Mm.
and then you look like a fool. Look like you're hoarding some nuggets.
Stashing.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Stashing. Yeah, that's
Stashing
that's for
some
dinner.
salt.
That way
Yeah.
you just
But if
brush
you
it
do-
off when the food comes out.
But if you have a half salt rim, you can just take a half sip. Doesn't hit either side.
How do you get
It's
the salt
perfect.
into your mouth?
Then you don't want salt at all. Period.
Well, I have a very, very nimble tongue, my friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Summer.
No, salty.
Dang it. who do you got in the finals, Gil?
We were talking a little about this off the air,
Oh, okay.
and on the air as well.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Let's do it on the air.
Don't do it. You're a
Who
liar.
do I got her in how many games? Like
Yes.
what's
That's what we're saying. And the MVP.
and the MVP? Okay.
And points per game average.
Okay. For that player, for the MVP, 33 a game.
Okay, that's a lot. So
It's
you're
Luka.
going
It's either Luca or
Kyrie. You're
It's
going
literally
Kyrie.
Luka, yeah.
Yeah.
look at it. See, it is Luca and Dallas in 6.
Okay. I like that a lot because I'm also taking Luka as the MVP, averaging 33 points a game, but I have Boston in 4.
Has that ever happened?
I don't believe
A
that's ever
losing
happened.
team has the MVP.
I don't think it's
Is
happened.
it allowed?
Like in hockey.
It's happened in the NFL, in the Super Bowl. I don't think it's ever happened in the NBA.
I think it's happened in the NHL.
That makes sense.
Really?
Yeah. But it was like somebody you never heard of, like Marty McSorley.
I've heard of that name.
The oldest hockey player I can name is Gordie Howe. And then outside of Gordie Howe, no one passed the 92 LA Kings.
Exactly the same.
What?
Like super ditto as hard as possible.
No blue, like Brett Hall? Not Hart.
In my head,
Oh.
he's post the 92 LA Kings, but I feel like he's probably not.
A
He's probably
contemporary. As a
Yeah.
contemporary,
Yeah.
sure.
that's like the Jeff Courtnall years. That's like the Brendan Shanahan years. Like all those years count. I'm not saying they don't.
You just block them out of any sort of headspace. You have better memories.
I'm trying to remember my favorite Houston hockey players growing up.
As far as cities that don't need a team,
Yeah. Don't care. The ice will melt indoors in Houston. There is no way.
I took a picture of my radio today. It was 107 degrees.
It's not fun outside.
Unacceptable.
It's not.
It wasn't that bad walking from the truck into air-conditioned Sadie's on 4th Street.
It feels really good in here.
It's pretty sweet.
With a margarita in hand, some chips and
Ooh,
salsa.
I'm going to get one.
Gil, you got to go to bring us some margaritas.
I got to go, and I got to go back to work.
We gotta go to
for
break.
10 minutes.
It's 2 and on. Live from Cities on 4th, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
I start at 7 a.m.
Mike's hot.
Welcome back to the program. We're about 5 short minutes, 1 segment away from our friend Jeff Symbieta joining us. Big announcement on the World of New Mexico Bowl today. We will get that to you at the top of the hour. Dallas Mavericks and Boston Celtics tonight. It's going to be a good one. Game 1, I think, traditionally is known as the tone-setting one. If Boston wins, no big deal, Dallas fan.
Sure.
If Dallas wins, you Boston fan should overreact forever.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We'll go into this more and more and more as the series progresses, but the only real key to this series, the make or break of this series, is if the Celtics can hit their three-pointers. If they shoot less than 33% from the three, congratulations, Dallas Mavericks. You're the 2024 world champions. If they can shoot 37-ish, 40% from three, they can sweep. It's that little middle ground. How can they play? Can they limit turnovers and hit their three-pointers? And I think they can. They're so deep and so talented, play good defense when they want to. With a healthy Porzingis, game changer.
Get ready to overreact if you hate the Boston Celtics. I'm 100% convinced no one likes the Boston Celtics. People only hate the Boston Celtics.
Are you counting Celtics fans?
Haven't met one.
Okay.
Me. I'm a fan of Jason Tatum.
St. Louis reason.
St. Louis reason.
Okay.
Tuning on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Jeff Symbieta joins us after the break. The sports animal.
Men on, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle,
Marie Castillo. This is Two Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Mike's hot.
Back live at Sadie's on 4th.
Yeah,
We get a
baby.
table for 3. Jeff Symbieta joins us on the program. He's the director of the New Mexico Bowl, and you wake up to him every single morning. Jeff, welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for the water. It's nice. I appreciate
I
it.
swear to God, dude.
For the record, it's 104 outside. They both have a cocktail. But I did order one. I mean, thanks to my gracious host. I very much appreciate you having me on your show today. Thank you.
We'll do the
look at
Indian
that.
left
Look at
foot, right foot. left.
Thank you. And cheers.
In our lovely server's defense, we did
I
order
know
you
you
one,
did.
but he wanted to bring it to you fresh,
I
I
know you
believe,
I know you did.
Man
Little
said,
salt.
I could hold 2. All right, here we go. Little.
in my tum-tum.
Oh, this is the house, the
Yeah,
classic.
baby.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me on.
You don't get to do this in the mornings.
Who says?
Yeah.
Hey, nobody anymore.
You don't know me. You don't know me. I used to work with an anchor way back in the day. I'm not going to tell you which station or who it was, but open that bottom right drawer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, don't overgo my locker. Well, you can outgo my locker if you want, if you're real thirsty.
You have a locker?
How do you not have a locker?
Oh, we never got lockers.
Well, I've had a locker. Now, granted, it's preceded when you guys were there.
Yeah.
So I don't even know who controls the locker, and if I lose my key, where I would go to get another key from my
Oh,
locker.
you haven't made a copy?
No.
Yeah. Oh, man.
There's nothing in there that I can't replace. But
You're
where do you
sitting
guys keep your
right
head?
next to my locker right
Yeah.
here.
Where do you keep your heads? You carry all your stuff around all the time?
Yeah.
Everywhere I go.
I got tired of that.
Yeah.
I'm a big backpack guy, so it was
It's more trust issues, I think.
That is
for me.
that's a handsome backpack. Though.
Thank you. I got it at the Costco.
Did you?
Yeah. Also, I got a little Christmas treat today in the middle of June.
What'd you get?
Well, I got an email from the New Mexico Bowl, and
Wow.
they're announcing their date. And I'm going to give you a word, Jeff. You tell me if this word is right or wrong. This is like an upgrade date, my man. This is a prime date.
You like it?
This is as good as it gets. We haven't said it yet. You want to make the announcement?
The 19th annual
There we go.
Isleta, New Mexico Bowl will be played on Saturday, December 28th.
Let's
Whoa.
go.
Kickoff on
Nice.
ESPN. Yeah, it's I fielded a lot of calls and people some news, some were like, this is awesome. Some were, hey, what happened? And then you kind of talk them through it, and it's exciting. It's different, right? Because this will be 19.
Yeah.
17 of the 18 years that we've been doing this, we've been on the third Saturday of December, the first Saturday of bowl season. The one year that we weren't, we played in Frisco, Texas, and it was Christmas Eve during COVID. And so it's kind of been a thing, and it's been great for us. And I don't know that we'll, this is forever, but this is a great opportunity. I'll kind of walk you through if you're interested why. But what do you think? I mean, what do you guys think?
This is the one where everyone is on holiday break.
That's kind of my thought.
That's it's as close as you are to Jan 1. To me, I think there's tiers, right? Like there's tiers of day where that many eyes, that many bodies available, and you're not Christmas shopping, you're not going with the kids, whatever. They're all out of school. It's the one.
And with Van, I'm really interested in what you say, but with Christmas on Wednesday, New Year's on Wednesday, like this is right in the middle. I think there'll be a lot of people in town. It also, from my perspective, gives the traveling parties, the parents, the fans, more time to plan a trip because we're on that first Saturday. It was a 12-day turnaround. It's a tough plane flight. It's tough with Christmas.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, you got right in between the two holidays. People, you've done it 19 years. You know very well people are going to show up and show out
I think
the New Mexico Bowl no matter what.
30,000 of them last year.
But with this slot, it's just going to be bigger and better.
I think so, and I hope so, and we'll see, right? I mean, it's I love Saturday afternoon. You're a little bit of a slave to TV in regards to where you kick. We've done everything from 12:15 to 5:30.
It's 12:15 this year,
12:15
right?
Mountain Time on ESPN. So the the Wasabi Fenway Bowl
Nice.
will be before us, and then there'll be a couple games on ABC. I think Pop-Tarts might be after us, but I look at a Saturday afternoon. What we've done. Traditional. It's going to be interesting for our staff, right? We got to work Christmas Day. I think teams are going to arrive Christmas Day, working with the hotel staff and practice facilities and events. But everybody we've primed on this, and I've seen this coming for a while. And here's what happened. If you look at the third Saturday in December, where we've been every year, go look at the date. There's no bowl games on Saturday, December 21. And that's because the college football playoff is playing first-round games. So they're going to play one game on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and no bowls are going to go. I mean, why would you put a bowl game up against that?
Good point.
And so there's no bowls that day. So that our traditional date has been eaten up, at least this year in the calendar cycle, by the CFP. The third Saturday in December last year was the 16th. There were 2 Saturdays before Christmas. This year it's the 21st. It's as late as you can go. So it'll be interesting to see how it all evolves and how it plays out. And so I've been really, really involved in conversations with my bosses at ESPN, and they protected us on a date. I think they did us a huge solid on this Saturday afternoon.
Well, and remind us here in June, right? Also, we'll be real transparent. You had the bowl game last year, and it's the biggest turnout that I'm familiar with 30,000 individuals. Tough loss for New Mexico State, and then it's immediately into holidays, right? It's into holidays, and we're into the Royal Rumble and Super Bowl. And before you know it, baseball's here, and we're in June. We're sitting in June. I don't know if we ever got that recap. I don't know if we ever got how did ESPN respond to the great turnout in the last bowl game? How did New Mexico State come up and celebrate? I don't know if you've got a chance between 4 and 7 p.m., even one time since the bowl game, to just celebrate how successful the previous one was.
Thanks. Last year was great. It was the largest crowd. And I went back and did scrub the books for a while. Largest crowd for a football game in our state since 2017. It was September of 2017. New Mexico State at New Mexico. And certainly, look, matchups in our game and in most games in my industry are reliant on matchups, right?
Sure.
And New Mexico State was huge for us. Having that alumni base, everybody said they traveled from Cruces. Heck, there's more New Mexico State alumni in Bernalillo County than anywhere in the state.
Good point.
And they'd never been in our game. So that was big. The game got away from us. TV rating was down. But the year prior, we were on ABC, and we had a 24-23 game on ABC. That would be BYU SMU game. This game was 38-10. Got away. The NFL was on against us, so our number dipped certainly in the second half of the game. But as far as what we did as a business, it was tremendous. The way it rated from the student-athlete experience to the fan experience, the coach experience was tremendous. You always work on a few things, gifting, events, everything worked out. And our stakeholders loved it. It was the reaction I got after that game was so incredible because the stadium was full.
Yeah,
like everybody was like, "This is so cool." I shouldn't really say this. My ex-wife was there at the game because my daughter was on a totally separate thing. She got a scholarship on the field.
How great!
And I want to make sure that Addie's mom was down there on the field as she should be. And after she says, "Well, I didn't realize how big what you've done." Like she said really nice things.
Yeah.
Probably are, which I guess if your ex-wife says something nice about what you're doing, that was, but it resonated, right? But it was one of those. That was a day, and Fred, you get it, man. When you pack your event,
that's so sweet.
And you work your ass off for so long to do it, and we've had good years, we've had great years, and last year was damn near great.
There's a difference too. Jeff Symbieta joining us on the program. He's enjoying a marg. There's a difference too after you finish an event and you have a sense of relief, and there's a difference whenever you finish an event and you have a sense of accomplishment. Do you teeter-totter back and forth to that with the bowl games? Is 1 year more relief? Is 1 year more accomplishment? And what was last year, and what do you believe this year will be?
So I always go back and look at it. We have a big celebration after the game every year. We go back to one of the team hotels, and we've got quite a bit of bar still left, and we have people up, and we keep the hospitality suite open. And Mike Leach has been up at that party, rest his soul, and we've had. It's
Go
great.
Cougs.
I'm always in a weird reflective mood because if there's that one thing that went wrong, and whether it's a concession stand shut down or somebody didn't get a parking space and they should have because they had, it bothers me, right? Last year was, if you recall, the Jerry Kill situation right after the game. And we came back. I was in the room at the press conference and watched it blow up. So we came back. We all meet in the office. Everybody waited for me and Ryan to get back. And we did. We opened a bottle of bourbon, and everybody, and I thanked our crew, and I probably talked too long, but then it was kind of going nuts, and it was hitting, and all of a sudden,
everyone checking their phones.
Well, everybody went back. Ryan and I stayed. I said, we'll meet you at the hotel, and we might have had a bourbon going, but we're on the phone with ESPN Media Relations and crafting a statement, right? Because that thing had gone within an hour, had gone huge. It was a gigantic story, and so. that was a bizarre one. And we went back, and Jerry was at the hotel, and he and I talked afterwards. And but Fred, it's such a great question because I don't know that I've ever thought of it in that term. I think, there's a sense of relief. There's a sense of really great accomplishment because the enormity of what we do, it's a small bowl game, but it's a huge event. I mean, it's a week's worth of events, and the detail that you put into it is insane. And our crew, I just want to love on my crew. Honestly, when it's over, I just want to love on them and make sure they know I appreciate them. And a day or two later, you kind of go back and go, wow, that was really flipping cool.
I mean, and you just mentioned the hard work. You just mentioned your crew. I mean, Jeff Symbieta and everyone who works with you just doesn't wake up one day in November and start working on a bowl game. This is a year-round job. You kind of develop the product year-round, and it's not just you don't wake up one day and say, "Hey, let's show up and play some football."
So, this week we've been working on a lot of corporate deals and putting together the events and like who's going to sponsor, the blankets up in the Zia Club because it's cold up there, and those are high-end tickets. So we renewed a bunch of deals. Our Oakley Eyewear all came in this week for the play. Like we've been working on the gifting already for the student athletes, for our stakeholders. Backpacks are in, and how big of a logo do I want? What color thread here? Events. And so, Van, it's a great point. Today, Monica was on the phone with Main Event to secure our
pregame bowl,
our event the night the players get in. She was on the phone with the convention center securing that event. Like the people who in charge from the city of Old Town Plaza for the pep rally, so all that stuff. I appreciate you saying that. And people ask me all the time, dude, what do you do all year? I mean, I'm not going to tell you I don't appreciate what I do. I know how good I got it. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I know how good I have it, but it's not that easy. I mean, you get it.
Jeff Symbieta joining us on the program. How fortunate the three of us are.
I mean, 19th of these guys coming up. I mean, you're never resting on your laurels. You're always working hard. You're always trying to innovate, making it bigger and better. What can we expect coming up this year?
Something. It's funny. We're working on a few things, and I don't know that we have anything nailed down. There's a bunch of ideas. You're always just trying to improve the fan experience, and so we've really kicked around a lot of different things about what do I want to do with the pregame experience, and I wasn't sure what time kick time would be. Right, it's a little different when you go at 3:30 as opposed to 12:15, right? But we'll still have the Tito's tailgate tent going
naturally
because yes. Somebody asked me about that. Well, we'll sleep Tito's bloodies. I promise you.
That's so funny.
But different. I want to do some more stuff with balloons and experience. There's a couple of bowl week things we want to do. There's a couple, like for instance, I didn't even think of this till today. Monica said to me, "Gosh, we always do the school visit." Well, they're not going to be in school. What do we do? So we're kicking around some thoughts today. Do we maybe take the players to a senior home on Christmas Day?
Sure.
Or to the YMCA?
Yeah.
Will there be people there that just would appreciate the accompaniment and some gifts? So that was kind of some of the stuff. Literally today, that was part of the conversation.
Just tell me where you want me to set up my wrestling ring, Jeff, and we'll set up the pro wrestling ring in Old Town during the middle of the
beat me to it.
What if we did? So we used to we kicked this around for a while. We do a players event on Thursday. We bring in a gentleman. He does kind of a game show. It's a Family Feud style game show.
Oh, sweet!
And so I've never been there. I hear it's great.
Yeah.
I host dinner at the same time with the coaches and the presidents. But a few years back, we were going to do a couple MMA fights. Like not, they were going to be exhibitions and have the guys,
already injured players.
Well, no, not them. They were going to watch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think that might have been an issue.
Yeah.
And now with the NIL on the line, I mean, who knows? But they could have bet. Would that have been legal?
No, it depends how it's sanctioned. So
If
maybe, maybe.
I bring his letter in.
Yeah,
right. And they've got the MGA books. So
yeah. You're sitting next to one of 5 licensed promoters in the state,
right?
Like it's a doable thing.
So they could have done like a couple of ribs from Rudy's because they're eating Rudy's that night.
Yeah,
so, I mean, up 2 ribs on the.
that's let me get that St. Louis style.
If you're doing like mayor friendly handshake,
right?
Like loser buys dinner, like
yeah,
why not?
Right? That's
sure.
all right.
It's funny. I love that you brought up his lettuce. So New Year's last year, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, right? And the one question I got was, what is an Isleta? And there's so many different ways to answer that question. What was your go-to response to what is an Isleta?
It's a beautiful resort casino just south of Albuquerque that's got lakes and a golf course and a beautiful sports book, which might one day get even more beautifuler, if that's not a term. And really good friends and unbelievable community partners, and a group of people who saw an opportunity to put their name on what I believe is the premier sporting event in our state, certainly the premier annual sporting event, and take their brand to a national level, and have been unbelievable title partners in the first year.
Love it. Last one before we let you go, because we're at that point. If you are an individual in this community, if you're a friend of the show who is interested in becoming a community partner to the Isleta New Mexico Bowl, what is the best way for they to contact your party?
So you could just go to newmexicobowl.com, and my contact's all there. It's jeffrey.c.simbieta at ESPN.com. Way easier to go to newmexicobowl.com and find me there. Sure. Or if you listen to this radio station in the morning, you can sometimes find me there. Yeah.
You've been grooving in the mornings. You got any awards recently?
I don't know. I mean, it's nice of you to say. JJ's going to pick up an award on the 21st.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it's. I told somebody this. I think I told you guys. I won't ever take one for granted.
Right.
And I don't do this for awards, and I know you guys don't. And if you do, I think you're in it for the wrong reason.
We've never won one, so
I've got. We've won one before. It's an honor, dude. I don't know what I don't want to sound like. I hope that doesn't come across arrogant or entitled, because they're nice. They're nice awards. JJ will be at the dinner because we're going to see the Stones on Thursday night in Denver, and we're going to spend another night up there. And we may go see Widespread Panic or a ball game that night. So I asked Audra. I said, "When you want to go back?" She says, "We've been to a few, right?" And I said, "Yeah, we have." So we're going to miss that one.
I only recently found out you weren't going because I got a call from the station and said, "There's a seat available, Fred."
I mean, dinner's good, but the bar, drinks are a little expensive. But
just have JJ filibuster until you get back.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'll be back on Monday. Actually, I'll be back Sunday for the I'm emceeing the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame banquet that Sunday.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah, so I got to get a tux, dude.
You don't own a tux?
You own a tux?
I have an adjacent. I'm
Do you own a
adjacent.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The satin lapel and everything.
Do you wear them?
About twice a year, maybe.
Really?
4 times.
So I can't tell you the last time I wore one.
I got one that doubles.
No, that's not right.
Yeah.
I wore one right around Christmas. I was best man at a wedding, so I had to rent one then.
Okay.
How many times have you been best man? You got that personality.
Couple.
Okay. You more awards or more best man?
Awards.
Okay.
Yeah. How many times did you notarize divorces?
All right, divorces. Get married at your own peril.
Jeff Simbieta, host of the morning show, award-winning broadcaster, director of the Mexico Bowl, and friend of ours. Thank you so very much, brother.
All right, guys, I appreciate it, and thanks for the support and the publicity on this thing. We're excited about it. And
sure.
Keep doing what you do, and cheers. Thank you.
Salute.
We say it every time. I'll say it before we go to break. This is, in my opinion, my perspective, as important as the Balloon Fiesta. It's as important as the State Fair. It's as important as any spectacle that comes to the city of Albuquerque.
Thank you.
And proud is the city of it.
Thank you.
Jeff, thank you so very much. When we get back from the break, 2 Men On, live from Cities on 4th, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. boys are talking the world of sports. Jeff Symbieta's still sipping his margarita. Put that headset on if you want. You don't have to. He says, I'll listen.
I'll listen. What do you have to say?
I didn't catch the show this morning. You got Dallas or you got Boston?
What do we do this morning? Richard Petito was on this morning.
That's a good get.
And we
They
had,
got a new look squad over there.
yeah, I got Dallas at 6.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why, though? Ugh.
I'll tell you why. I don't believe in Tatum as a closer, and I don't know that I think Brown is enough. And I believe it my eyes when I've been watching what Kyrie Irving is doing and what Luka's doing. And everything says Boston should win, and I get it, but my eyes tell me
Bring
Luka
Jeff
Doncic
Mike
is the best
up.
player in the world right now. And my eyes tell me Kyrie Irving isn't far behind. And really, that's kind of why. And am I riding the momentum? Yeah, I kind of am. And they were the team I didn't think much about, but
Luka looks like a man possessed. He looks like the best player in the whole postseason tournament.
He leads in all the
He's-
stats they record.
Yeah.
Like,
He's got
including turnovers.
and he's got a Batman who's not an insane person anymore. He seems like more grounded, more of a
What
team
happened
player.
there, right?
I know.
Like, where's that guy been the last 5 years?
ayahuasca.
Oh,
It might be, right?
How could it not
Yeah.
be?
I mean,
Uh-huh.
did he go dark too? Like just into the darkness and just
So
disappear
smart
for a
if he
while?
did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It just came out a different guy and said, all right, I'm going to go to Dallas. He's been unbelievable. Like, it looks like a guy just, I know this is way too stupid and I don't know the guy, but it almost looks like a guy who found peace. He found a place that
sure.
he wants to be. I mean, he's not telling me about the earth being flat.
Yep.
He's not screaming about vaccinations and not screaming. He shows up for work. And by the way, he's so damn good.
Oh god, he could ball forever. It's
Yeah.
just he got in his own way.
Mental torment is fascinating. We've all been through loss. We've all been through a lot of stuff in life. And the way you package that outwardly, like his outlet was not the healthiest outlet for some
And
time.
he's admitted that recently. And I respect that a lot. By the way, I respect a guy or a person who can look back and say, man, that wasn't the best me. I needed to be better. I made mistakes. I will respect people who just say, God, I should have been better.
Yeah.
I wasn't good. I was going, and it's not an excuse, it's an explanation, and then get better.
Yeah.
I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah, grow.
Mark Cuban does have that affordable pharmaceutical company.
That's probably what
Could
it
have
was.
put him in the right hands. Say, got him on the right
I'm
cocktail
okay
finally.
with that. He found
Yeah.
somebody on the tank, and he bought it, and Kyrie's in.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
As you talk like throughout the individuals you know in the world of sports, and you talk throughout, and Jeff Passan's a really good example, right? Like you talk to him, you guys are friends. There's no other way to say it.
Because we have the same first name.
Yeah, well, sure.
I mean, we're all the same.
That
I was
Jay.
hanging out with 2 other Jeffs in the hallway today. Jeff Berry, Jeff Abadal. We're all hanging out together.
So you just didn't left just St. Louis in the building?
Oh.
He wasn't there yet. yeah, but it was 3 different haircuts, and I was made aware of that.
As we talk about the world of media, and we laugh about this Kyrie thing, there were a lot of people not laughing about Angel Hernandez for a long time, and then he said that was the reason that he decided to step away, including your friend Jeff. Like, do you think it had that these kind of voices would make Kyrie calm the way that made Angel Hernandez make a career change?
I don't know. I don't. I think Kyrie's a different cat that probably didn't listen to a lot from the outside, or
Yeah.
at least didn't give a damn. Angel Hernandez couldn't not hear it. Isn't it amazing? How many umpires, referees, officials' names do you know?
Small handful.
Yeah, very few.
Yeah.
We were talking about this on the program the day Angel Hernandez got fired.
Yeah, probably.
You don't know the
Hockey.
names of the good ones.
Yeah, if you're a referee and someone knows your name, you screwed up somewhere. Yeah, maybe. Kyrie just seems like a different cat. Look, he's bright now. Right?
Yeah.
A Duke guy, very, very cerebral. You don't have to believe everything or agree with everything he says, but I almost think he marches to his own drum, don't you?
Sure.
I feel
Figured
like
it out.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and I feel like if you get a bunch of guys that don't constantly combat him, you know, if you get a bunch of people around him that say, "Hey, we recognize you're weird, as long as you're not weird for 48 minutes,
Yeah.
you know, 3 times a week," like awesome.
But we all work with people like that, don't we?
I work next to one.
Look around our
Every day.
building, man. There's people. I think it went that way. It's behind you.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I'm the
yeah.
worst. Little live radio on TV here. I dropped my pen.
We all work with people who are like, "You're weird, man," but show up to
Yeah.
work and do your job, and I'm cool with you.
Yeah, I'm
Right?
sitting right here, dude. You can
Yeah.
just say my name.
I was talking about.
Yeah, same.
Is that you?
That's 100% brother.
100%.
You know, the one we get is producers. We've been through like some producers that are great when the light is on,
Yeah.
and then the second it's time to walk out the building, like
Names?
Yeah, they all had them. They all had names. Every single one of them.
A lot of them agreed. A lot of them agreed with a lot of Kyrie's points.
One of the most foolish questions I ever asked a producer I had was, why don't you park in the garage with the rest of us?
What was the answer?
They don't trust garages.
Really?
And I said, oh, okay.
What's more dangerous, parking on the street in Burke or parking in a garage? Tell me.
I mean, if you're like me and you always think there's a ninja behind every pillar in
There
a garage
is.
and you're always ready to fight,
But you just
I
can't see
get it.
You just can't see
Exactly, because
But
they're
they
really
are
good ninjas.
100%. You know what amazes me? Bridges. Just because they work. Like how do you get bridges down the bottom of the like oceans and lakes and like and the base that's down there, and how does the cement dry to make these bases? And then why are you looking at me like
I'm just following you.
bridges, They
Yeah.
I don't they've always they work.
Are you watching the finals tonight? Are you going down a YouTube wormhole for
Yeah,
bridge
I'm going to
construction?
go look at bridge construction and how they're going to fix the one in Baltimore.
That's that's gonna take some time.
And that thing went down like Lego.
Yeah, they're very.
That's my point, man. And then you're running millions of pounds and tons of vehicles over them all the time, over large bodies of water. And I don't know, they just bridges have always amazed me because they work.
As far as things that you guys know, I'm against almost everything politically, not infrastructure. Like if I can
fix
give
it.
That's a good one.
infrastructure, national parks, those two things can have all my money. Go towards it, do the thing. Also, when I was a child, I watched Mr. Rogers and Picture in Picture. They told me how bridges were made. I recall that.
Wait, you watched Mr. Rogers in Picture in Picture?
So Picture in Picture was
like
what
they
Mr.
have
Rogers had in his house.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
Yeah.
of the new technology where I can split screen my watch.
Oh, like
two
TiVo stuff.
games. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I can watch two games. That's very different?
Do you feel like you still watch commercials because you watch sports?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I don't watch commercials in anything in my life except for sports.
Well, that's pretty good. Yes. And so, and when you watch sports, you watch a series, you watch the same 8 commercials
Oh,
for
sure.
2 weeks straight.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you reached for your clicker and be like, skip ad? Like, oh, crap,
I
it's
can't do
sports.
it.
I can't.
I can't
It's
do it.
stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff is like, oh, actually, I think this would be a good sponsor for the New Mexico Bowl.
Colgate.
Colgate,
There is
okay.
some of that. Hey, yes. Sadie's, what? I mean, yes.
Yeah, why aren't you here? Where's Gil? Get Gil over here right now.
Gil's actually put some salsa and chips in the VIP baskets over the years.
Yeah.
That have showed up at the hotels.
I might be speaking out of turn here. I feel that every prominent New Mexico and every legacy New Mexico brand has made an effort to be a part of what you've done over the years.
Well, I mean, a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's been a lot. It's crazy. I look back at the people. We're going on 20 years, dude.
Yeah.
20 years is a long time. We were looking back at some of the people and some of the past and some of the sponsors. We look back at some of the old games. Well, remember when you see a sign on the right, one of the A-frames? Oh, remember when they were part of it? And yeah.
You remember when you did one 20 years ago and cameras didn't have gyroscopes yet and it was just doing this
and
the
it was
whole time?
in standard def.
Yeah, and you're like, we made it.
Yeah, we made it. That was the biggest way, just to get through it, just to make it. No, who do you guys? You guys both have Dallas?
I got Boston. For the first time in the history of the NBA Finals, I have Boston winning and the loser having the MVP.
Okay.
I think Luka's
that
going to
never
have
happen?
a 30-point triple-double.
I think he's going to go nuts. Has it never happened?
It's happened in the Super Bowl. I don't think it's happened in the finals.
Oh.
And then I obviously my hometown hero, Chaminade High School, right down the street from me, Jason Tatum, cannot.
Hometown hero.
Yeah, that growing up, like when I was doing radio in St. Louis when he was, coming up through high school, going to Duke and all that history, and I just think it would be a fun, not booking because they'll continue to play, but it'd be a fun button on his career right here.
It's big for him.
Yeah.
How many times MVP on a losing team is led in the Mexico Bowl?
Oh, 0? I don't know.
1.
Okay.
Who?
Nope.
Come on, it's your alma mater.
Washington State.
Yeah.
And it would have to be one
Garner
Todd White.
Minshew.
I have no idea. Gardner?
Connor Halliday.
I wouldn't have came up with that.
Connor Halliday threw 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a stud.
And at the time, it was a record for all bowls, not just New Mexico Bowl. It was an all bowl record, and that was the game Colorado State came back and scored 17, 18 points in the last 2 minutes and 3 seconds. And he stood on the sidelines. He was going to get the ball. Colorado State scored. They went for the 2-point conversion. The Statue of Liberty, all the replays. Okay, we're tied. It's 45 all.
Yep.
He's going to get the ball back with 33 seconds to go and 2 timeouts. And I remember I was standing on that sideline, put on his helmet. He had already thrown for 6, and Washington State coughed up the kickoff.
Ugh.
And Colorado State got it, kicked the field goal, the gun, and never got back on the field. And how do you not make that guy the offensive player of the game? I mean, his numbers are ridiculous. And I had to bring it to him in the locker room. And it was the only time the guy didn't come out, but it was awkward, but it was the right call. Yeah, that was
Concur.
the
Yeah.
only time.
My Cougars returned to
They'll
New
be in the
Mexico this
stadium.
year. Yeah, they're coming this year.
Yeah.
So I found my favorite hat.
Okay, which shirt are you going to wear?
I'm going to go Cougar hat. I'm going to go Lobo polo.
Oh, I got a Cougar shirt.
You want to need a Lobo hat? I can get you one.
You got a guy?
It's actually you. You're the guy.
I'm not sure I'm the guy for that. I got.
Bronco don't return my calls. Jeff.
Is that right?
I'm still waiting.
I know all the words to the Washington State fight song.
Oh, you're way ahead of me.
Oh, man.
So
Okay.
you'll appreciate this. So I worked in Washington State, Yakima, Tri-Cities for 5 years. And the first Cougar game I went to, we were in the field house of Martin Stadium. And I was with a bunch of buddies, and they told me that if I learned the words of the fight song, I wouldn't ever have to buy another drink.
Love it.
I mean, I still fight for Washington State. Win that victory. We're going to win the day for Crimson and Gray. Yeah.
I know none of the words.
Okay.
I know the song.
All right, Fred, you're up. Second verse.
And when I went back I was there for Drew Bledsoe's final game, the Apple Cup, and you still know it. Damn right I do. And it was a crazy, snowy, buzzy, drunken day.
Thank you, Bob.
We're gonna win the day.
Take you back.
Best in the West. I'll do our best. Come on, you don't know your alcohol?
Oh, I do not care for that at all. The last game I went to was Apple Cup, Washington State, Washington, obviously, and it was the quarterback who went to Tennessee for Washington. He was a stud. What was his name? Played in the first round draft pick. Was an absolute bust at Tennessee. Jake Locker.
Jake Locker.
Oh,
Jake
okay.
Locker. Yeah, and Washington State won in a field goal. It was the whole thing. Martin Stadium in the snow is a special place, and it was a cool time.
They don't let you in if you don't have a flask or a Bota bag.
That
Like
is
you don't have to places.
amazing.
They frisk you, and if you don't have one, they hand you what flavor do you want? You have to go in with one.
That is beautiful.
And if it's something, they're like, does this pair well with Cougar Gold cheese? And you say yes. Yes, it does.
Yes.
Jeff Symbieta may be leaving.
Guys, I got to go.
It's too long.
not to flex on you guys,
Yeah.
but I got a lot of Cougar stories too.
I love it.
Just not Washington State.
Are we sharing those too?
Commercial break.
You want to share those?
95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Clicks, you'll get personalized gift ideas for every dad at every budget. Visit Macy's.com/gift finder and give love today at Macy's.
And traffic right now, dealing with crash cleanup westbound on I-40 near San Mateo. Watch yourself going through there. A little further down I-40 westbound, right around the interchange, you're going to see more slowdowns. Those are going to last until Coors. Southbound I-25 just south of Paseo, we've got congestion. That's going to last until Montgomery. Westbound on Paseo right now between I-25 and the river. Traffic moving slow through there. Also dealing with slowdowns headed west on Alameda approaching 2nd Street. Those last until Coors.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Make yourself at home. Shop in-store or online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The finals finally starts tonight. I'm Joe Ostrowski here to help you beat the books with BetQL. It's been a long week leading up to the NBA Finals, and the action finally gets going. The BetQL model will have all their 4- and 5-star best bets ready for all the championship action. I'm Joe Ostrowski. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL and BetMGM apps today.
Eric Strauss here with CertaPro Painters. Summer is here and your stucco may look yucko. If you're like me, you're still spending a lot of time at home and your home is your happy place. They make your experience worry-free with free estimates. Protect your home investment with quality painting from CertaPro Painter. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8618. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8618. That's 800-575-8618. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
If we
It is
go heavy commercial.
Hey,
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
State's most
Yeah. Are we having a soundbite of the day?
unrivaled views and
about it.
exceptional
Yeah, I'm
playing
on it.
conditions for golfers
Okay.
level. San Diego Golf Club has been
We'll put the
awarded
soundbite
Best in the
today
City 2
in the
years in a
final
row,
with you.
and recently
Find
was
something
named
tomorrow.
Best New Mexico Golf Course by World Golf Awards. Come see for yourself why. It is
Yeah, good point.
sensational. Take advantage of 3 certified PGA professional coaches and take your game to the next level. To book your lesson or your next tee time, visit sandiagolf.com for the best available rates.
Who's that
And
from?
it's not just the golf. The Clubhouse Grill offers you the city's best patio
Bruce
dining
Wayne texted me today,
experience
a bunch
with
of
a
pictures of
tremendous
his
menu and full bar
home
service.
thing.
The
It's
Event
so
Center
cool.
at San Diego
I'll
Golf
show you in a
Club
second.
is the perfect spot for your next corporate meeting, social event, or celebration. Come by for a free site tour. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Award-winning San Diego Golf Club. Visit them online and book your tee time at sandiagolf.com.
Back in 1 minute.
Thank you.
Tee.
Now at O'Reilly, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for $9 and receive 2 times O Rewards points. In store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Auto Parts.
With Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal, you can get your choice of a sausage or bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin with small seasoned potatoes.
And with all that for just $3, it really is a proper breakfast, wouldn't you say? Huh? With a light and fluffy toasted English muffin and crispy seasoned potatoes. Go on, Catherine, give it a go.
Okay. Dolly, good morning.
Ah, close love. Grab a proper breakfast with Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal for a limited time.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Select to request English muffin deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders. Single item at regular price. Prices are higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea.
We're going to do the
Hard tea
soundbite.
that packs a punch with 5%.
Yeah.
It's great at the
It's just I hadn't received one yet, so I wanted to ask.
DK.
Coming back.
I'm Jeff Sabieta. Friday on the opening drive, a final game. The Celtics and the Mavericks. Well, game 1 of the finals. And the latest on that Laker coaching search, JJ Buck and I started 7 a.m.
Mike's hot.
We're back. I'm ready.
Your mic's hot.
Back live on the program, back live at Sadie's on 4th, and some friends of the show just walked up, and they knew the same Houston-based rappers that Van knew, and it ruined my entire break.
We just met him right before we came back from commercial, but I'm excited to go meet him and talk to him.
Well, we can go to break in 2 minutes. So the NBA just got a little weirder. Obviously, the big game tonight, I think we're pretty upfront with who we think and what we think. I love the storyline of Boston wins it and Luka wins the MVP. That's hilarious and fun to me. Let's go with that.
I'm not trying to bait people into being angry. I think it's a very real possibility.
It's a fun narrative.
Luka can be the greatest player on the planet, dominate, and still lose.
And again, it's a fun narrative. Give me some of that. Van, who do you like owning your sports teams?
I mean, there's only one option we've ever known.
Okay.
It's billionaires from that region.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, one of the richest people in the world,
correct,
has agreed to join Mark Lohr and Alex Rodriguez's ownership group to buy the Minnesota Timberwolves, which also comes with the Lynx because now the WNBA matters.
Yes, of course.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that is a thing that will happen. I imagine there will be 3 teams in New York very soon playing NBA basketball.
They're not going anywhere. They sell out every game. Minnesota loves their Timberwolves. But why, Bloomberg? Are you banned from New York? Is no one from New York allowing you anywhere close to professional sports teams?
Like, not legally, but in practice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, legally, I mean, that's libel, and you'd have to go through a bunch of court systems and blah, 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 of equity, whatever. But Minnesota, like, if you're a Bloomberg, that's considered slumming it, right? You have houses in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Not in the Ooper or whatever.
Good point.
Thank you.
That is a different place.
It's a different state. I understand.
Yeah, the UPA.
Yeah.
So this ownership saga group has gone through the weirdest twists and turns of all time. And now when you add one of the richest men in the world, which, by the way, this ownership group is like, anytime you mention him, make sure you say one of the richest men in the world.
Sure.
It'll totally help us.
I mean, they're already spending a ton on free agents anyways. Like, that costs a lot of money to get Rudy Gobert. Like, they're going to pull in some – who doesn't want to play with Anthony Edwards, right? So you're going to have to fork over some cash to stay relevant. If you want to keep up with the Joneses it helps to have a billionaire, and they got multiple.
Like the Jerry Joneses
He is also a billionaire, and he is also a Jones. Side note on Alex Rodriguez.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw on the interwebs today a very subtle dig by Jose Canseco.
I didn't see it.
Who's trying to challenge Alex Rodriguez to an MMA or boxing fight.
Why not?
Wished Alex Rodriguez a happy Pride Month. And again,
that's damn good.
And again,
in Jose's world, this is a very good burn.
That's probably the funniest thing he's ever done. It's funny who it's coming from and who it's going to, not the joke itself, low-hanging fruit, blah, blah, blah. But the timing is impeccable. Challenges to a fight, and then the very next day wishes him a happy Pride Month on Twitter.
Minnesota, the state, cool, but Minneapolis, the city is blue politically and progressively and ideologically it might be the most. It used to be San Francisco was that. Yeah. It used to be
Seattle.
Yeah. Portland.
Yeah.
New York for a period of time, except when crime gets bad and they have to elect a Republican mayor to fix it.
Sure.
The Minnesota's it.
Yeah.
They don't want Bloomberg there.
Right.
At all.
Sure.
The region, sure. The county, sure. That city, they're not about this life. They're also probably not about Alex Rodriguez's life either. I don't know if this is the group.
And again, Alex Rodriguez is a Miami guy. Bloomberg is a New York guy. Try to get your greedy little claws into some other organization. The people of Minnesota, they will riot. They don't want some guy from Florida and some guy from New York trying to take over their team, take over their city. I mean, it doesn't fit. There's a lot of places, there's a lot of transplant centers. If you're telling me Bloomberg and Alex Rodriguez wanted to buy a team from Phoenix, oh, sure. That makes all the sense.
I agree.
All the sense in the world. Denver, another big transplant city. You got somebody else trying to buy a team there? Sure. I mean, the Waltons, Arkansas asses bought a team in Denver, Colorado. Sure, makes sense to me. Somebody from New York and somebody from Miami trying to get a team in Minnesota, they're going to hate them.
Denver used to also be that city. It is no longer. Denver's changed, man.
I don't see a lot of local representation in Denver. It's just as transplant as anywhere else. But it just so happens the transplants come from wider places than Denver.
It's super dirty.
Hard disagree.
It used to be real clean.
It's an American metropolis, so it's going to have its bad areas.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rugs in American metropolises where the city tries to sweep stuff under. Denver's no exception.
Well, they should stop trying to do it on thoroughways in downtown. Like, somewhere around that.
That's why I live here in Albuquerque, because I was born and raised in Denver.
Oh,
you got out of that hellhole, huh, Bob?
No.
Yeah, actual city and county of Denver, not just the metropolis area.
Oh,
the actual city and county.
That's an important thing to people
Yeah,
whenever they're from a place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can say, I'm from Denver. Okay, Wheat Ridge, Littleton, what part of Denver?
I think it's like it's a not Midwest energy. Just like if you know where that is true, Chicago's like that.
Yeah.
But like Kansas City, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Memphis, Detroit.
God, they don't care.
They don't care.
They're just happy to be nominated.
We're from the Metro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're from here.
Yeah. This is our thing.
I'm from Houston. I'm not from Houston.
No.
Yeah, I'm not from downtown. I'm not from the 5th Ward. I'm not from Clear Lake. Like, I'm from right outside the limits. I'm a little down the street.
Yeah.
But I'm from Houston.
Yeah, we're close enough to the water where we say we don't need to go every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever we get back from the break, we wrap up the 5 o'clock hour. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Boys are live from Sadie's on 4th. He won't be able to hear it because he's sitting right next to us. But big thank you to friend of the show, Chuck.
Yeah,
Came
what up,
out,
Chuck?
Brought the fam, brought his wife on her birthday. Little Sadie's birthday celebration. That's nice. That's a very nice thing. I like that. The texter says it doesn't matter who owns teams. Let me tell you the story of Georgia Fontieri and my St. Louis Rams. It matters.
You heard of Donald Sterling?
Oh, my gosh.
Donald Sterling, you familiar? It matters who owns the teams.
That Clips thing that's on Netflix right now, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Hey, Cowboys fans, you complain about Jerry Jones all the time. What do you think about having all those access to Dallas Cowboys resources and not having an owner getting in the way? It matters.
You're the most valuable franchise in all the NFL, and you spent less money this season than any other team.
Wild. It matters.
I guess that's how you become the most valuable. You know how the Pirates every year are like in the top echelon of moneymakers in Major League Baseball? And it's not because they make more money. It's because they spend no money.
Yep. They're in the sweet spot with getting paid from a TV deal, getting reimbursed by all the other MLB contracts, and not spending money.
Owners absolutely
Also,
matter.
The field is beautiful, and they sell it out all the time.
Well, that doesn't hurt. You know, I mean, you got some things going for you. Whenever we get back from the break and jump around the NFL, NBA basketball starts in just 30 minutes-ish. It's 2 men on. The final, brother.
The final.
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
You're clear.
even if they're not that proud of us.
Now betting for the sports animal, your afternoon drive. On deck circle, Marie Castillo.
And your mics are hot.
And slow.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Sadie's on 4th, where we enter the 6 o'clock hour. We got a fun one this hour. I'm with you up until like the halfway-ish point. Van's going to run solo for a little bit. We'll hit our Isham Diddle soundbite of the day. I have to go, Van. This is a real sentence. I have to go to a meeting tonight.
Okay.
For roller derby.
Well, I'm glad you're finally doing something athletic. I've been worried about your physical health. You need to get out there more, get your body moving, get active. So that's cool, man.
You believe that your idea is I'm going to participate. That's what you're saying?
Did I misinterpret? What's going on?
Albuquerque roller derby that I went to but 2 weeks ago over at Expo, New Mexico. By the way, it was wild. It was so much fun. It's the most fun I'd ever had. So I saw that fan base and I went, this is also a pro wrestling fan base. I go, this, number one, it's the coolest group of cats I'd ever seen. They get out there. Every shape, size, birth, gender, all the things that they could be.
Ooh, a lot of boxes getting checked.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they were all of it. And I said, what do I need to do to be this thing? Like, what do I need to do to have you a part of this thing with me? And they said, well, they're a non-for-profit. They have board meetings. They're like, come to our board meeting. And we'll talk the whole thing out. So I'm a big Sandia Slammers guy right now, just so you know. Big Sandia Slammers guy.
Okay. Well, are they more Celtics-ish? Are they more Mavericks-ish?
Sandia Slammers more Celtics-ish. Burke Brawlers more Mavericks-ish.
I like Burke Brawlers. That's cool.
Who doesn't? Also, Carly Rico Quinn is hosting karaoke night Sunday, June the 9th over at the Social Club. $1 to sing, $3 to make someone else sing, $5 to avoid singing altogether. So if you want to be part of a cool fundraiser with a cool group, they have that going on. And I'm certain after this fun meeting, we will we're going to actually probably talk a lot of roller derby, which is super fun to me. When I went to this, not to get super distracted from where we're going, so the roller derby I had worked with historically when I was broadcasting roller derby was all gimmick roller derby. So it was like storylines and spots and hilarious. It was like the funniest thing to be like, okay, so-and-so's there's jammers, and I don't need to give you all the stuff.
Sure.
So anyway, so the person who scores points, they're going to do this, and then what's going to end up happening is they're going to, looks like they're going to be tossed, but they're going to end up landing on their skates and flip over. It was a lot of fun. It was like a show. The one I went to here, this was like a complete, legit sports endeavor.
I mean, it takes athletic ability. You run a wrestling organization.
Yeah.
Some of those people, scratch that. Most of those people do not look like athletes whatsoever, but boy, are they.
If half of the roster that was involved with performing roller derby was like, I believe I want to be pro wrestler, they would all be very good pro wrestlers.
So it's like a huge pipeline from like college football to WWE.
Yeah.
Huge pipeline from Greco-Roman wrestling to WWE.
Correct.
It's got to be the same-ish for roller derby, right? Just like a smaller sample size?
No.
Do you know some ex-roller derby wrestlers?
Pro wrestlers?
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
But it's like, like the Chase Bollinger kid the other day?
Uh-huh.
It's like I can just go from the NBA to sand volleyball. I feel like it's the exact same thing.
That's an insult to sand volleyball. I mean, I'm sure he tried really hard and practiced for a long time and had a crossover skill set.
He won a bunch of state championships in high school.
In volleyball?
In volleyball.
Oh, okay. Well, see, there's that. He's got a rich history.
He had a rich history.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Claypool is reportedly the Bills' most consistent wide receivers. R.I.P. Josh Allen.
I I don't think Josh Allen needs elite receivers. I think he needs an offensive line so he's not running for his life all the time, taking sacks, getting injured, and having to rack up 1,000 yards every season rushing to hide the fact that it's not a really good team.
The Vikings refuse to stay out of the headlines as they release their all-new white Winter Warrior alternative uniforms.
All right, I saw these earlier today when I was doing my toilet research, and they're sweet. They're sweet. They did a really good job.
Playing on turf, they're going to stay clean and look good.
Mm-hmm.
Would love to see them on dirt. Give me a muddy mess on those things.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. The Vikings tried to get Justin Jefferson, and the Vikings said, "Nuh-uh. This is a real report."
Get him what?
To the team.
Well, I mean, you got to try, right?
Yes.
Instead of a Herschel Walker level haul in a trade, we'll just pay him the most amount ever for a non-quarterback. Suck it, NFL.
Good deal. Super good deal. Allegedly, Anthony Richardson is not as healthy as individuals thought. He made just one really faux pass attempt today in Colts training camp, and then that was it. He was done. Also, he threw it lefty, not righty.
Well, why don't you listen to your boys? I told you last year, Colts, rest him a whole year. Make sure he's healthy. Make sure he knows the speed of the NFL. Don't let him run around and dive helmet first and jump over the offensive line. Work your way up to it. If you want a lifelong asset, don't just throw him out there. There's only so many Peyton Mannings. There's only so many Andrew Lucks. There's only so many Trevor Lawrences. Protect these young quarterbacks. Set them up for success.
It's being rumored that the recently retired Aaron Donald, who retired at a 99 overall in the game of Madden at the time of his retirement, is going to be the cover athlete of Madden 25. Not Madden 25 that came out 10 years ago on the 25th anniversary of Madden. Madden 25, the new Madden 25, because the other Madden 25 had Adrian Peterson on it or something.
Aaron Donald didn't retire because he couldn't go. He didn't have the same love. He didn't want to put out all the effort that it took to be an elite NFL defensive lineman. He would still be a 99.
Chiefs lineman B.J. Thompson is in stable condition after suffering a seizure and going into cardiac arrest during a meeting this morning. That's a scary sitch.
It always is. We talk about like the huge rosters in the NFL and like how you're going to see every person that exists on earth. You're going to see every condition. You're going to see every medical condition. You're going to see every possible data set on a 53-player roster extrapolated over 32 teams. So the fact that they have like medical personnel ready there, ready to strike. Like if he wasn't an NFL athlete, I mean, we'd have something way worse than a DeMar Hamlin situation right now.
Well, that's a good point there. And, you know, often your level of athleticism saves you in those situations. So, yeah, it's kind of intense. You want to hear something real weird?
Always.
Mike McDaniels, who's the head, Daniel.
Just one of them. It's
Mike
not,
McDaniel.
Yeah, it's not pluralized.
Who is the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, is having all of his staff members schedule meetings that end in 24. So, for instance, 324, 424, 524.
Mm-hmm.
And that is to represent the 24 years since the Miami Dolphins have won a playoff game.
Which is the longest streak in the NFL. Teams have been born and won playoff games since the Miami Dolphins have last done it.
Well, players, too.
Players as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a long time. Whatever it takes to shake up your culture, because until they choked in the playoffs last year, like I thought this is a team that does it. They got all the people in the right places, are talented as they can get on offense. Can they stop teams when it matters in the playoffs? They're just as good as any other contender in the NFL. Is the culture change enough to push them over the limit? Doubt it. They're the Dolphins.
Kiefer Sutherland is pissed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of years since anyone's made a 24 reference.
It's a deep cut. but it's a good one.
The Giants will be wearing their Century Red uniforms in Week 1 against the Vikings at MetLife Stadium. That's obviously in New Jersey. Have you seen these?
I have not. There's no way they're as good as the Vikings.
Century Red uniforms. I'll give the friends of the show a second. Friends of the show at home a second to take these in.
Oh, never mind. Scratch that. I have seen those. They're hideous. This is a horrible decision. The red and blue Michigan helmets with the jerseys themselves. The jerseys stand alone.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Not good.
I hate it when you wear the brown pants. It looks ridiculous. It looks so dumb.
Unless you're the
You're trying to convince me. You're trying to convince me that you're wearing old leather pants right now. Is this what you're doing? You're wearing leather pants.
Old Leather Pants was that name of that gal you used to date during COVID.
It was leathery, but it was not pants. It was not pants.
Jeff Lurie is exploring a sale of his stake in the Eagles. $7.5 billion valuation. Yes, sell.
Oh, how is he going to round up all these wild animals, get them together in one place, and then sell them? I'm sure the planet has probably more than $7 billion worth of eagles out there. But the sheer logistics of trapping them all at the same time and then moving them all at once. I mean, how much bird seed is that? Like, who's going to clean up all the poop? Like, it's impossible. I think that worth way more than $7 billion.
This is so stupid. The Buccaneers have agreed to terms with veteran wide receiver Sterling Shepard on a 1-year deal. Following 8 seasons with the Giants, who drafted him obviously in 2016, Shepard now gets to play with his old college quarterback, Baker Mayfield, in Tampa.
It's weird how, like, a 28, 29-year-old is considered a seasoned veteran and is getting, like, a mentor contract, because he's not going to play football on the field. Like, he's proven himself that he's past his prime, way too young. But he's a locker room guy. He's a mentor. You take all these young receivers, show him how to do it. That's his value.
John Harbaugh says that he could be talked into getting a tattoo if the Ravens win the Super Bowl. This is homage to his weirdo brother.
Okay. Is Lamar Jackson going to be healthy for a full season again? Because you got as good a chance as anybody with a healthy Lamar Jackson. Okay. Does it say what the tattoo is of?
One would assume the Lombardi.
Oh, the Lombardi trophy.
Yeah.
Not like a raven.
I don't know. Yeah. Whatever signifies
a raven
that to you. You know, I have an Andes Mints tattoo because it reminds me of my grandma.
That's
sweet. It's kind of the Andes Mountains tattooed on my arm.
Oh, the Andes Mountains. That's your grandma's nickname.
The Andes Mountains logo off the Andes Mints, the delicious after dinner mints.
Yeah.
That my grandmother would give me as a child.
They're more than after dinner mints, Fred.
Yeah.
Give her some credit. They're delicious all the time. You could have them as a tasty treat.
Yes.
Yep. Or you can feed them the $7 billion worth of eagles.
Where will they potty?
That's my question. It's a logistical nightmare.
Quarterback P.J. Walker, who famously played for the St. Louis Battlehawks, is signing with the Seattle Seahawks, completing his hawk-on-hawk action.
Ooh, that's hot. A lot of bird talk this segment.
Doing it on purpose.
Okay.
Also, if you really like initials, you can say he was FAQB P.J. Walker.
I will never put up that much effort for anything.
If he ends up playing for Seattle, his first game will be at 7 ET on the NFL Network. So,
Eagle time?
Seahawks. It's a bird of prey.
Uh-huh.
Van gives you his prize picks when we get back from the break. I got to go. I'm going to a weird meeting.
Enjoy your weird meeting, buddy.
And also, heads up, full disclosure, when I scheduled this weird meeting, I thought we were off early due to Isotopes baseball. So this is 100% failure on my part. But because you are a pro,
yep,
we're going to do 3 structured segments in a row. where you hit on Prize Picks, you do the Isham Dental soundbite of the day, and then fake out an I-9 varsity. It's easy street radio for you and the listener on the way out.
Bob, open up your Prize Picks app.
505-246-0610. Van needs help for the next 45 minutes. It's 2 men on 95 point. Well, it's 1 man. It's Van on 95.9 FM and AM 610 live from Sadie's on 4th, the sports animal.
Do you
I'm Duke City. Listen to Two Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. You're listening to a special 3-segment edition of One Man On, as Fred Slow is on his way to really start his promising and burgeoning roller derby career. He's got the size for it. He's got the shape for it. He's got the tenacity. And we wish him the best in his future endeavors as Albuquerque's premier roller derby superstar. A lot of superstars on Prize Picks. Friends of the show, you want to join us on the fun on Prize Picks. I got some inside info for you tonight, but first off, you haven't got in yet, you don't have fun with the boys yet, it's okay. Enter promo code KNML on Prize Picks, and we will match you up to $100. And Bob, I believe you have the Isham Dental soundbite of the day already playing in the background. We can get that out of the way so I can talk Prize Picks. Promo code, one more time, KNML, will match you up to $100 on Prize Picks. Or, hear me out, you put in $69.69, screenshot your deposit, send it to us, and beers are on us.
Okay, thank you.
Bob still got that in my ear.
Okay, so 12:33. We're going to ask
on
for
Prize Picks today.
And next year first.
You get a freebie.
Okay, so that's Houston.
The lovely people at Prize Picks are spotting you, Jason Tatum, over 0.5 points, and it's a gimme because you know Jason Tatum is a baller. He's going to get one bucket if he doesn't dislocate his shoulder on the first play. This one's a gimme. So whatever lineup you do on Prize Picks, select more on Jason Tatum. That one's a gimme. My lock of the day, and I got a little bit of coin riding on this one, is you make a lineup. You can make as many as 6 people. The odds go up higher and higher the bigger your lineup is. But you just do 2 on this one. And trust me, you do the gimme Jason Tatum, and you do what I consider a gimme is Derek Lively II. And this is sweet. This is sweeter than a Sadie's on 4th Street margarita. 0.5 assists. You click more, you put any number of amount of currency you want to put on that, and you cash it out tomorrow. Guaranteed, lock it in. Again, Jason Tatum's freebie, more than 0.5 points. Derek Lively II, more than 0.5 assists. They're giving it to you. Take it. If you want to do a full lineup for tonight's game, which starts NBA Finals, Dallas Mavericks, Boston Celtics start 15 minutes, 25 seconds in counting. There's some others that I really like. For example, Derek White, more than 6.5 three-pointers attempted. He's going to chunk it up over and over and over again. Who knows if he's going to make it or not, but I know he's going to get his. He's going to eat when he's got a chance to eat. So count on Derek White chucking up the three-pointers over and over and over again. I like him also on three-pointers made, and that number is going to be 2.5. So you could do 3.5, and that one's a demon. And our friends who have already been playing Prize Picks with us know this already. The demons give you a better payout, but the goblins are safer. I have a lineup with the first 2 I mentioned, Jason Tatum points, Lively assists, and then I took the goblin on Derek White with 1.5 three-pointers made more. Take the more, take that to the bank. We're talking baseball. I got some big ones for you tomorrow, friends of the show. Joe Ryan over strikeouts. Minnesota at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh as good as their pitching staff. Jared Jones, fun to watch. Paul Skeens, fun to watch. Their lineup isn't great. Their star, O'Neal Cruz, strikes out at a rate as high as anyone else in Major League Baseball. A lot of holes in that lineup. Joe Ryan is also a strikeout pitcher. Take more on Joe Ryan strikeouts tomorrow and take the less on Chris Sale strikeouts as he goes up against Washington. We know the Nationals aren't a great team. They're at the bottom of Major League Baseball. But one thing they do is put the ball in play a lot. So take your big lefty, Chris Sale. He'll probably get 5 or 6 strikeouts, but he's not going to hit that 7.5 mark. Take less tomorrow for Chris Sale. We'll talk about this more tomorrow when we talk more Prize Picks. But I'm looking ahead to tomorrow. I'm giving you something to chew on already tomorrow. Tonight, Prize Picks, like I said, Jason Tatum, the freebie, the special, more than 0.5 points. Derek Lively II, more than 0.5 assists. And Derek White, more than 1.5 3-pointers made. Triple those up, take it to the bank, and then come to Sadie's and buy me a margarita next time, because you are welcome. Bob, we got that soundbite of the day loaded up because I'd like to hit it after this next commercial break. You're listening to a special edition of One Man On, live from Sadie's on 4th Street. I got a margarita sitting right in front of me, and so should you. You're listening to One Man On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
Get ready to step into the ring,
Claire,
with Going Over, the ultimate pro wrestling and pop culture.
wheeling and dealing behind the scenes at the NFL draft.
And here we go. I'll have it up. Mike's hot.
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. Welcome back to Two Men On. Well, technically for the next 30 minutes, it's going to be one man on as Fred Slow is starting a very promising roller derby career. We're all behind him, 505-246-0610. Give us a call tomorrow and follow up on how well it went. He's a little top heavy. He's not the most graceful on skates, but he's got the will. He's got the tenacity. Isham Dental soundbite of the day coming up. Isham Dental, well, he's a dude. Just by beyond being a sponsor, being a friend of the show, he's like a dude in real life, and he'll do whatever it takes to help you get your denture repair, get whatever kind of services you need. Takes Medicaid, takes just about every other insurance you could possibly have on this great green earth. 3900 Eubank Boulevard Northeast, Building A, Suite 5. Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87111, 505-881-0422. That's Isham, I-S-H-A-M, IshamDentalABQ.com. Without further ado, here it is, your Isham Dental soundbite of the day.
Call Houston. You know what? Let me call Nick.
You're clear until this is over unless you want your mic on.
What are you saying here?
Just keep the mic
right.
on.
I'll text you back. Then.
Okay, mic is hot.
Yep. I'll give me 1 minute. I'll call you back. Okay. So they're still here.
Friends of the show, NFL junkies, you want to know how the sausage is made, and you're listening to it right now. As this is behind the scenes at the NFL draft of Arizona GM Monty Ossenfort, wheeling and dealing, moving up and down in the draft. I find this wildly interesting, and I want you guys to check it out. I'll pop in and out.
Okay, so 12:33. We're going to ask for 104, and then next year first. Okay, so that's Houston. How much time? 6 minutes. Okay, and then just. Okay, I got it. All right. Okay, here's what it'd be 12, 33, 104, 24 first, for 3 straight up. All right, give me a minute. Make that 24 a 2. At 96 has got to drop. 105. Okay, called him. Great. Wow.
The Arizona Cardinals have traded the 3rd pick to the Houston Texans.
Okay, so we're interested in coming up to 5. Hey, but
so Arizona
we're
traded out of their spot
we want to come up to
at
7,
3,
possibly?
and now they're trying to go back to 5, and they're wheeling and dealing for a second pick now.
Okay, all right.
This isn't Rain Man talking about drop 2 picks. This is Arizona GM Monty Ossenfort.
And then let's start brewing up below that. Atlanta. It's going to be something similar down below. How much time? 7. Okay.
Clock's
12 to 6 for 12 and 34 for 6 and something late. See if he comes back. Hey, bud, how's it looking? You're gonna pick? Anything I can do? Okay, thanks, bud. See how I was picking. Hey, bud, what's did that? What we're thinking? Yeah, let me put something together here.
The music is making me even more nervous than I am just like listening to him talk.
On this Vegas deal now, talk to me about this Vegas deal. Is that an even deal? Hey, so here's what it looks like. What deal do we like better, the Detroit deal or the Vegas deal? Hey, bud, how are you? You guys picking here, or what are you thinking? Yeah, I think we'd do 34, and then we'd need something back. No, we wouldn't do a 24-1.
And obviously, this isn't him doing it by himself. He's got a whole team hovering around him, helping him wheel and deal.
Detroit. Hey. Okay, so 12. Go ahead. 12, 34, and 168 for 6 and 81.
I got the video up as well, and it's just as funny seeing the assistant GMs and everyone in the room, like, just watch him walk around and move and wheel and deal. This is so wildly entertaining.
Hello? Is it Terrace? Yes, Terrace, hey, this is Monty Osborne of the Cardinals. How you doing, buddy? Call Houston. You know what? Let me call Nick. Hey, bud, are you guys still interested? Well, what are you saying here? Yeah, right. And I text you back that wasn't enough. Yep. I'll give me 1 minute. I'll call you back. Okay. So
And he doesn't stop. He keeps going. This thing lasts for like 15 minutes. Bob, you can pan that back down. Because if you watch the NFL draft on television, you're not seeing like how the sausage is made in the background. All that they're constantly doing. You know, you got your big board, but it's not just a big board anymore where you got a dry erase board or a chalkboard and you're crossing things off as it goes along. They have every possible scenario on a tree of possible scenarios. And there's people that are solely assigned to cross out scenarios as it becomes more and more likely that it's not going to happen. So what you're listening to again was Arizona GM Monty Awesomenfort wheeling and dealing behind the scenes of the NFL draft, moving back up, trading the pick that they moved up for to another team. Multiple layers of trades going on here just so they can get to a point where they're comfortable enough to pick a guy that they had at the right slot at the right time. And he's got an assistant. Well, he has 2 assistant GMs hovering around him this whole time, like texting, and they're on their laptops analyzing the trades. And he's got another guy that is looking at the value of every single draft slot to make sure that in their eyes that they come out ahead on just the draft slots, not even the players that they're trying to acquire for their football team, just the value of the draft slots themselves. Because we all know, I mean, the NFL, like, you got a few sure things every year. You got a few people in the draft that you know will fit with your organization, with what your team's trying to do, with what needs that you have to do in this offseason coming up into the next football season. But there's no guarantees. This is just as likely as hitting the lottery, as hitting every single pick in your draft. And the guys who do it, if you hit 1 out of 3 picks, if you get 2 starting players in the NFL every single draft, you're doing a hell of a job. And I think GM Monty Awesomenfort the last 2 years for Arizona has done a hell of a job. And with the Isham Dental soundbite, you got to see exactly how that goes down. And if you're just listening and you're wildly intrigued, I recommend you go back and watch this too. There's some other longer cuts of what we just played for you for today's Isham Dental soundbite of the day. But I mean, I loved every second of it. I'm so interested. I'm more interested in the front office stuff, the money stuff. Like, how does a stadium run? Like, what happens behind the scenes? That intrigues me just as much, if not more, than the play on the field. You want to talk about a fourth quarter comeback being the most exciting thing in sports. I will argue with you, Arizona GM Monty Awesomenfort trying to wheel and deal for 4 hours straight at the NFL draft is just as exciting, if not more exciting.
And one thing that just to paint the picture,
sure,
the whiteboard behind him has got to be at least 8 feet high and 20 feet long.
That's just one of them, Bob.
Yeah, I know. That's the one you mainly see.
Yeah, the big one was the possibility board where anything could happen. That's like the possibilities. You move this piece here, you move this piece there. On the other wall is the ranking of all the players that they wanted to have, and they're crossing those guys off one or however many at a time. And then they're ranking the pick slots. There's another guy on the other wall ranking the pick slots that they're working on. It is nuts.
It looks it. Absolutely I describe it as controlled chaos.
Yeah, chaos is the right word, but it seemed like he knew what he was doing, and the room seemed really happy with what he was doing. It's just absolutely bonkers. In honor of GM Monty Austinfort, when we get back, we're going to do the I-9 varsity of GMs. Bob, you can play if you would like. We're going to do the I-9 varsity of GMs. As you know, you can make the varsity whatever you want. Varsity of GMs when we get back. You're listening to Two Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
And you're clear.
Thanks, sir.
The only GM I can think of is Jeff Barry, our boss.
That's a good one. I'm going with acronyms for stuff. So
right,
it doesn't have to be an actual general manager. It could be literally anything in the world. along with us.
Yeah.
But I participate in the jazz cabbage every once in a while. A little,
you have
little devil's lettuce every
Yeah.
once in a while.
My
Little
wife
Satan
does too.
salad every once in a while.
Yeah.
But one thing that's even better are sweet treats when you got a little green in the system. And no one does sweet treats better than the fine people at General Mills. Next on my I-9 varsity of
Okay.
GMs, I'm going with General Mills. They make some bomb cereal and some delicious, tasty treats, Bob.
Yes, they do.
You got a go-to cereal?
Right now it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Classic, legendary.
Yeah.
I love
you can eat
cinnamon
that
cereal.
with milk or just dry as a snack.
Oh, you
That's
just
great.
pop them straight up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah.
That leads to another problem with the jazz cabbage, cottonmouth. You need a little liquid with your dry cereal, Bob.
Well, I infuse the cabbage into a tea for my wife.
Bob, do you think this is a good I-9 varsity so far?
It's working for me.
Excellent. Because if you don't, you got to have faith, Bob. You got to have faith.
And
a person who had faith was next on my I-9 varsity, George Michael.
Okay.
George Michael, lead singer of Wham and eventual solo artist, cranked out a lot of hits over the years. He's a really good GM.
How are you getting GM out of that?
George, first name. Michael,
George
last
Michael.
name.
Okay.
Welcome to the program, Bob. Nice to have you.
I'll wake up here in a minute.
Another GM, which I met last year at Isotopes Park. Lovely human being, a hell of a baseball pitcher. Next on my I-9 varsity of GMs, we're going with one Greg Maddux.
Okay.
Chicago Cubs and Atlanta Braves legend Greg Maddux. It's a good one. That's a good one. I got an honorable mention, Bob.
Good.
You might
'Cause
know
I'm
this
totally
guy.
tapped out.
He little bit of nepotism here, a little multi-generational talent here. The father of famed director Penny Marshall, director of hits like The Princess Diaries, Pretty Woman, Runaway Bride, Mother's Day, and other Julia Roberts movies.
Yeah. Good
One
movies all.
GM Gary Marshall.
There we go. I couldn't grab his first name out
You
of my head.
familiar with his motion pictures, Bob?
I actually have seen most of them.
Okay.
You know, I'm not a real up-to-date person when it comes to the entertainment field.
I'm more of a Penny Marshall guy, Bob, going to be honest with you, brother.
Well,
but
she's good too.
Too many rom-coms for me. I like his daughter, Penny Marshall.
Yeah.
Director of Big, League of Their
That was
Own.
fun. Oh, love
classics.
that one. I love that one.
Legendary stuff.
I would go to the Baseball Hall of Fame just to see that section, I think.
I would and I should. As a baseball dork, I've never been, and it's I kind of feel shame every time I tell somebody that.
Well, you're young, you got time.
Game one of the NBA Finals, 3:42 left in the first quarter. Boston Celtics are already up 6 on the visiting Dallas Mavericks. A lot of basketball left. Watching it here on Sadie's and 4th Street, all the way in Boston, Mass, on those beautiful parquet floors. Luka from the corner bangs one off the front side of the rim. Back down the court, Tatum drives to the basket. Looks like we got a foul that wasn't called. But
Well,
you're
until
watching at home anyways. You don't need me to call the game.
Until that final buzzer sounds, it's all up for grabs.
Well, okay. Yeah, I like that. That's a positive outlook.
Yeah. No
Hell
matter
of a
which-
program today, friends of the show. Bob Wolpo back at the studio. Thank you so much, my friend. You did a great job as usual.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Jeff Symbieta joining us earlier in the program. Excited for another great New Mexico Bowl right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So
and
much
that's
fun.
December 28th?
28th, Saturday, December 20th. They're moving it up a week. It's so successful and popular. They're just going to move it up a week, Bob.
That works for us.
Yeah. You're going to be on vacation anyways.
No, I'm not. I'll be here.
When I
always
said you, I meant friends of the show.
Oh, okay.
Not Bob, because you'll probably be doing the audio on the New Mexico Bowl.
Possibly.
That's a very good chance of that. Tomorrow we're going to be either live from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, still TBD, or God forbid we're slumming it at the best place in town, Safe House Distillery downtown.
Sorry. You're clear.
Oh, we go all the way up against it. I did not hear the out music.
That's because I had the log out of audition for some reason.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah. Okay, that's my screw up for this hour.
All right, Bob. Till next time. You be good.
I'll be here tomorrow.
Sports Animal.
Casino at the Downs hosts Cruising to Win Monday through Friday to win up to $10,000 in cash. Plus, random promos daily, Wednesday instant hits, virtual derby weekends, great dining, and so much more. It's winning entertainment only at Casino at the Downs, Louisiana and Central. The Crown Room inside Casino at the Downs and a 5-time Best of the City winner invite you to elevate your fine dining experience. Enjoy unique dining selections, great wines, or your favorite cocktails in elegance. For the best in fine dining, visit abqdown.com for menu and reservations.
eBay Motors is here for the ride.